minutes, then we'll start, sir.
Okay. No, don't worry much.
So now, sir, we are going to start. I will request my colleague, Mr. Vineet Surana, who is coordinator of this program on behalf of the SPI Uttar Pradesh under TechUp 3. I request him to start the program. Mr. Vineet Surana ji.
Thank you very much, sir. I am Vineet Surana, Nodal Officer Procurement from State Project Implementation Unit, Uttar Pradesh. I welcome all the participants who are present here and are going to see that how the solar energy is affecting India as well as the world through the eyes of the experts in this field. The experts for today are Mr. Praful Pathak sir, who is the President, Solar Energy Society of India and the session chairman for today.
Sound.
Hello, I can't hear him. Anybody else?
Yeah, Dr. Ali, can you hear me, sir? Ali, sir?
हाँ डॉक्टर साहब, आपकी आवाज आ रही है, विनीत, मिस्टर विनीत की नहीं आ रही है.
Okay, sir. No issue, sir. I will request Dr. S.M. Ali to kindly welcome the experts and guests and the participants so that we can move forward. S.M. Ali जी, लगता है डॉक्टर एस.एम. अली नहीं सुन पा रहे हैं.
Dr. Ali, can you hear me?
Hello, Professor S.M. Ali sir. Can you hear me, sir? Professor Ali.
सर म्यूट करके बैठे.
Am I audible to others? Bhagwan Das sir.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible. I think Dr. S.M. Ali's microphone is muted. Dr. S.M. Ali, please unmute your microphone.
Sir, I'm extremely sorry. Somehow, from Mr. Surana's side, the sound is not reaching to the audience. Can the participants hear me, sir? Bhagwan Das ji, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
Dr. S.M. Ali, can you hear me, sir? Dr. S.M. Ali, can you hear me?
बाकी सबको
अली साहब की आवाज तो आ रही है.
नहीं, वो टेलीफोन पर बोल रहे हैं सर. उनकी आवाज टेलीफोन पर आ रही है. तो सर
करके और एक बार जब एक मिनट हाँ देख लेंगे, साउंड नहीं
आप अली साहब, आप वेलकम एड्रेस बोल दीजिए. हाँ, कोई बात नहीं है, आपकी आवाज लोग सुन रहे हैं. आप यस प्लीज अली साहब, आप बोल दीजिए, वेलकम एड्रेस दे दीजिए.
सर
प्लीज
सर, this is my proud privilege to be here giving a welcome address on behalf of the the special program on the State Project Implement Unit Uttar Pradesh and Solar Energy Society. Solar Energy Society in the main research and innovation in the field of solar energy towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is the first program being organized with the State Project Implement Unit and the TQ3 with the Solar Energy Society. On behalf of the Solar Energy Society, I welcome the today's chief guest, Mr. Ajay Prakash Srivastav, the Chancellor of Maharshi University or immediate past President of Solar Energy Society, and expert member from IIT Delhi, Professor D.P. Kothari, my teacher. I really salute him, and he always guide me as expert members today's program. I also welcome him, sir. And other experts member, Mr. Bhagwan Das ji, Professor, and from the DEIE Agra, who will be highlighted about the solar energy requirement and solar energy research and innovation in the latest field. And Prafulla Pathak, my colleague and President of Solar Energy Society, who is the key factor and key leader for developing the solar energy and spreading all over India and abroad for this development, regulatory, policy, and everything. I also welcome President Sir of the Solar Energy Society, Prafulla Pathak, and our Dr. Anil Kumar ji, who is the State Project Implement Unit Head, who has taken the key initiative to organize this program in solar energy, and he is also former Vice President of Solar Energy Society East in our previous tenure, and who has taken the key interest for development of solar energy in the eastern region and other part of the country. I also welcome Dr. Nalit Kumarji sir and Professor P.K. Jha ji, who is a life positive expert and working in the field of the solar energy. He is also one of the expert member. I also welcome him. And my ex-colleague or Mr. Vinit Surana is a nodal officer. He is also there. And I wish this program is a great success. I welcome all the dignitary. I'm extremely happy. One side, my co-colleagues are there in different professional society. Other side, my teacher who will be delivering the live telecast on the solar energy and with the experts in the solar energy, Dr. D.P. Kothari sir. And I really happy to note and to welcome all of you esteemed dignitaries to this program on this research, and many of the students, researchers and faculty members all over the world has joined to this program. I welcome you all, sir. And it is my once again the proud privilege to welcome all the dignitaries on this occasion. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
লিখতে চারটে আর এর ধূস হয়। কার্তিক জয়েন্ট সাউন্ড আদা चार्ट आने में ज्वाइन करना होगा। चलो हम चार्ट पे ज्वाइन करो सब ठीक है।
Thank you, Mr. Vinit Surana ji. Sir, at the outset, I must welcome the entire fraternity of SESI, Solar Energy Society of India. It's a former past president, Sri Ajay Prakash Srivastav ji, who is the chief guest of the session today. Prafulla Pathak ji, a very vibrant and dynamic personality who is leading SESI today as a president of SESI. Dr. S.M. Ali ji, the vice president and my earlier colleague at Institution of Engineers India. Professor D.P. Kothari ji from IIT Delhi. Bhagwan Das ji, Dayal Bagh Education Institute, with whom we are working very closely for implementing and enabling mechanism for environmental management framework in whole of Uttar Pradesh, as well as Mr. P.K. Jha ji, who is a life skill expert. He will also be discussing some issues related to life skill at the end of the webinar, and all other participants. Sir, indeed, I must express my special thanks to Praful Pathak ji, under whose guidance and leadership we could be in a position to make this webinar a reality. In fact, our basic motto and objective was to create an awareness among the institutions in Uttar Pradesh about the solar energy, the future of solar energy, and solar energy, the only alternative, not only for the energy, for the environment friendly energy as well in days to come. So solar power is the key to clean energy future, and every day the sun gives far of more energy than we need to power everything on the earth. The sun provides more than enough to meet the whole energy requirements, and unlike fossil fuel, it won't run out anytime soon. No greenhouse gas emissions are released. After solar panels have been installed, operational costs are quite very low compared to other forms of power generation. Fuel is required, and this means that the solar power can create large amount of electricity without uncertainty and expense of securing a fuel supply. India is one of the countries with large production of energy from renewable sources. As of 27 November 2020 data I am having, 38% of the India's installed electricity generation capacity from renewable sources is 136 gigawatt out of 373 gigawatt. In the Paris Agreement, India has committed to an intended national determined contributions target of about 40% of its total electricity generation from non-fossil sources by 2030. So 2030 is a very vital day and year and deadline for the country, because 2030 is the deadline by which certain sustainable millennium goals are to be met in the field of education also, and even national education policy 2020 has been framed exactly in this line. The country is aiming by 2030 for even more ambitious target of 57% of the total electricity capacity from renewable energy sources by 2027. This is as per the Central Electricity Authority strategy blueprint. According to 2027 blueprint, India aims to achieve 275 gigawatt from renewable energy, 72 gigawatt from hydroelectricity, 15 gigawatt from nuclear energy, and nearly 100 gigawatt from other zero emission energy sources. Government of India has also set a target of installed rooftop projects of 40 gigawatt by 2022. Sir, under take-up mandate, a World Bank project under Ministry of HRD, Environmental Management Framework, Green Campus Initiative are the certain areas where we are also working very closely with the institutions, creating an enabling mechanism in the campus so that a sustainable framework can be created by each of the institutions, and they can also achieve the sustainable development goal by 2030. In line with that, TechUp 3 approached SECI, its president Praful Pathak ji, and he has been kind enough to agree to our request to organize this jointly organized webinar on this very key and national issue. So, sir, I will not take much of the time. I simply give the agenda today that we want to create an enabling mechanism in the institutions where they can realize the potential of the solar energy, they can realize the future of the solar energy, and they can also realize that by 2030, the government of India target of 57% of renewable energy against a Paris agreement of 40%. So to deliberate on all those issues, we are having a large number of experts today, and more particularly the entire fraternity of CSC, led by their past president Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji and Praful Pathak ji and Dr. S.M. Ali and Ali ji and others. The experts like Deepak Kothari ji and Bhagwan Das ji are there. We will be hearing them. I will not take much of the time. And once again, welcoming all the guests, experts, and participants to this very important webinar and I do believe that it will be it will create definitely a mechanism among the mind of the people, the mind of the community, the mind of the teachers and the students, so that they can carry forward these issues in the policy planning, in the annual plan of the institutions, and in the long-term plan as well. Thank you very much, sir. Over to Mr. Vinit Surana.
Thank you very much, sir, for putting up the agenda of this program. It has been very rightly said that solar energy will not cease to give us energy. Our chief guest for today. Over to Dr. Anil Kumar, sir.
Thank you very much, Vinit Surana ji. It's indeed my great privilege that I've been asked to introduce our chief guest of the today's session. Our chief guest is Sri Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji. He is a well-known personality in the field of society, education, and charitable fields, other charitable fields in the country and abroad. Mr. Srivastava was appointed Chancellor of Maharshi University of Information and Technology, Lucknow, by the government of Uttar Pradesh, and is the immediate past president of Solar Energy Society of India. Mr. Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji is the promoter and president of Maharshi Solar Technology Private Limited. The company has set up a factory in Andhra Pradesh for manufacturing of multi-crystalline wafers, mono and multi-crystalline solar cells, SPV modules, solar lighting system, solar water pumping system, solar power plants. Maharshi Solar is the first company in the country to establish multi-crystalline solar PV wafer system manufacturing facility, and also the only company to establish R&D facility for solar grade silicon feedstock. Sri Srivastava is also in the board of various educational and charitable institutions established in India and abroad for propagation of knowledge and teaching of His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. Over to Sri Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji to kindly share your views about solar energy, its future, and bless this webinar as a chief guest. Over to Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji.
Thank you, Dr. Anil Kumar ji. Thank you very much for my introduction. And before I start, I express my deepest regard and respect for the panel members. So many eminent people are here. It's going to be a very wonderful session. What I want to tell you about the topic of the seminar, research and innovation in solar energy, and that's where we really need to put our focus. It's a very timely discussion on research and innovation. In our country, we do a lot of research, but not as much as should be done. In the last 6 years, almost 4.7 trillion rupees have been invested in renewable energy in India, but I'm sorry to say very minute amount of it has gone into the research and innovation area. It's good that we have 2-3 educational institutions connected today. We have ex-professor from IIT Delhi, we have Dayal Institute. So it's hopefully that the educational institutions will look forward to doing some more research. The research, what is needed at present in the solar field is one of the things that we have been doing, reducing the cost of solar cells. And last, when I started the solar factory 21 years ago, that time solar cell cost was very high. Now it's like 15 rupees a watt. That time it used to be 115 rupees a watt. So that has come down, and that has come down basically due to various innovation and research in the field of improving the efficiency, improving the yield of the production, and reducing the thickness of the wafers. Because the major component in solar cell is the silicon wafer, which was very expensive. but we have been able to reduce the solar cell thickness from 400 micron to 120 micron. So that has reduced the cost of the wafer. So this kind of research is needed. Further, more research is needed, because right now the efficiency of a solar cell is in the range of 18 to 20%. Earlier it used to be 12, 13%. So there is an increase in efficiency as well, reduction in thickness. These things have brought into, and of course, production yield have brought the cost down. There is a further scope to bring the cost down, because the efficiency, if it is improved from 18, 19, 20% to 24, 25, even 30%, the cost will be, there will be a major factor in the cost. The another very important field that needed for research and we could take up in this our institutions is especially the grid stability. Earlier, when the solar was started, the grid, the solar electric was coming into grid was like 3, 4, 5%, and wind was around 10 to 12%. So the total mix of renewable into the grid was around 10 to 12 to 15%. But now that has increased very much. That has increased to more than 37%, and that has created a lot of problem in the grid stability, because coal-fired plants have to start and stop. They need certain time to restart the plant. So the very important field of research is now in the field of grid stability, how to mix the two powers, because solar and wind are not always available. They are available at certain time of the day and certain hours of the day. And whereas coal power the power plant has to start, takes 2-3 hours to start, and maybe 2-3 hours to shut down. I'm not an expert in coal plant, but this is what I have heard. So there we need to find a way to how the two power, one which is always available in terms of coal, but and the other one which is cheap and environment friendly, but not always available. So there needs to be done some kind of research in the field of grid stability, where both power can flow through the same grid, or we could think about a separate grid for green energy. That some people have suggested, although the cost is very high, for a separate green energy grid. But these are the things where more research needs to be done. And another thing about the solar renewable energy, solar and wind both, is that it's available only a certain time of the day, as I said before. And therefore, if we can find a very viable energy storage solution, and that way the energy from these sources can be made available 24 hours a day, that would remove the grid stability problem, as well as the coal that we use. Because when we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat from the point of view of energy, and that because right now we depend on coal and oil being imported from outside, so that cannot be basis for Atmanirbhar. So if we remove completely, if we can move to the renewable energy from 37% to 50% to 60%, 70%, International Solar Energy Society of India, which is our parent body in a way, have a goal of 100% renewable. So they talk about this. There is a possibility of 100% renewable energy, and we think that is also possible if there is a storage facility available. So big area of research and innovation is in the field of energy storage. So these are the areas where our institutions and our government must focus on. There is a lot of programs of the World Bank where Dr. Mishra is involved, Dr. Anil Kumar is involved, and he could put up these ideas to these people who fund the research program in the country, and take up the institute like Dayal Bagh Institute or IIT Delhi or any other institute which is in the field of renewable energy. And let's focus on energy storage solutions, grid stability solutions, and let's put focus on that. So we could actually think about, dream about 100% renewable energy, where we will never have to depend on pollution creating coal plants or these oil-based plants. My thanks to Dr. Anil Kumarji for organizing this seminar and this webinar, and bringing out a very good topic on the table, where innovation and research needs to be carried out in the field of solar energy. so that we can aim for very high percentage of solar energy mixed into our grid electricity. My regards to all the panelists, and I would like to hear from the experts now. This is from my side. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, sir. It is indeed our great pleasure by your gracious presence on the occasion. And in a brief but in a very candid manner, you have talked about that there is a possibility of 100% renewable energy in India by focusing more and more on research and innovations. You have also talked about that by ensuring and addressing the issue of energy storage, we can move towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, because that can lead towards reducing our dependence more and more on coal. And once our dependence has been fully reduced on coal and other fossil fuels, naturally Indian economy will boom like anything. So thank you very much, sir. We are with us our another guest, the present president of the SECI. And he will be sharing at the session chairman at later stage about the thought process. But meanwhile, we will be talking about another expert, Professor D.P. Kothari ji from IIT Delhi. He will be sharing his expert view on research and innovation in solar energy leading India towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. I will request Mr. Vineet Surana to give his brief introduction.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor D.P. Kothari obtained his Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical Engineering in 1967 and ME in Power Systems in 1969 and PhD in 1975 from BITS Pilani, Rajasthan. He was involved in teaching and development of several courses at BITS Pilani from 1969 to 1977. Dr. Kothari has served as Vice Chancellor, VIT Vellore, Director in Charge and Deputy Director Administration, as well as Head in the Center of Energy Studies at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and as Principal VRCE, Nagpur. He was a visiting professor at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, Melbourne, Australia during 1982-83 and 1989 for 2 years. He was also NSF Fellow at Purdue University, USA in 1992. He also taught at Melbourne University, Australia for 1 semester in 1989. Dr. Kothari, who is a recipient of the Most Active Researcher Award, has published and presented over 830 research papers in various national as well as international journals, conferences, and has guided 56 PhD scholars and 68 MTech students. He has authored 69 books in various allied areas. He has delivered several keynote addresses, 100 plus webinars to his credit, and have been invited in many lectures at both national as well as international conferences. Dr. Kothari is a fellow of National Academy of Engineering, fellow of Indian National Academy of Science, a fellow of the Institution of Engineers, India, fellow of IEEE, honorary fellow of Indian Society for Technical Education, and a fellow of IETE. I request Professor D.P. Kothari to please share his views on the topic of research and innovation in solar energy towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, so that we can be enlightened with his research area, and all the participants present here can also be enlightened through his work that he has been doing over the years. Over to Professor D.P. Kothari, sir. Please unmute, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
DP Kothari, sir. Can you hear me, sir? DP Kothari ji. Sir, it appears he is not being connected. I will take a break of 1 minute.
नहीं हो गया, देखो हो गया.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
आ
sir.
रही है?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Shri Vineet ji, for kind introduction. Thank you, Dr. Anil Kumar, for giving me this invitation this morning to such a high galaxy of people working on renewable energy. Honorable Pathak ji, Honorable Ali Sahib, Assalamu alaikum, and all my dear friend Dr. Bhagwan Das for last several decades. So I'm indeed very happy to be here. Now, before we talk of research and innovation, according to me, education comes first. Renewable energy education. Now only 2 IITs are having BTech, Bombay and Kharagpur. I request you people to convince Professor Gopala Rao, the Honorable Director of IIT Delhi, to start the BTech in energy in IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi had the first energy center in India. That was 1977. Professor M.S. Soda, the Bhishma Pitama of solar energy. He was instrumental in that. Professor K.L. Chopra, 2-time director of IIT Kharagpur. He was also involved. Professor S.S. Mathur, then Professor T.C. Kandpal. All these people were Hires Datta involved in the solar energy research. We have so much good solar energy lab. In fact, we have solar houses in IIT Delhi, which are 5 degrees warmer in winter and 5 degrees cooler in summer. So that houses one can see. And future solar architecture is the main thing. So we have to build all our houses such a way we don't need electricity. We can use sun and wind and illuminate the house. Next thing in the solar energy is solar lantern. If you develop solar lantern in the night time, you don't have to carry torch, carry the solar lantern. Similarly, solar water pump. If every farmer is given 1 solar water pump, there will be no suicide in farmers. That's important. See, solar passive cooling, solar passive heating, solar drying, all these things are important. And I'm sure 1 compulsory course or elective course must be there, compulsory by AICT, all branches of engineering. Then only education is there, automatically research will follow. At the moment, there are 20 MTech programs going on in the country. It should be 50. So, and all universities, all institutions in India should be, I will say, use a force to run an BTech program, at least a center for energy studies. IIT Roorkee is the only IIT having alternate hydro center and water resource development center. That is also renewable energy. Then next thing which I want to tell Dr. Anil Kumar is with his connection with the India, let us start AMI in energy. There is no AMI in energy yet. So let us start it. Similarly, we should have Polytechnic. Similarly, ITI, who is going to repair your solar cooker, solar lantern. So all equipment has to be repaired. So I request all the people sitting there, so powerful, let us have ITI in energy, Polytechnic in energy, AMI in energy, and BTech in energy. The institutions like, all the जितने भी यूपी में universities है. AMU has started 5 megawatt solar power plant. Now AMU has no outside electricity. That 5 megawatt is more than enough. Another thing is waste generation. आपका जो waste होता है, जो आपकी कॉपियां हैं आंसर बुक्स, उसको फेंकना नहीं है, उसको जला के waste power generate करना है. That is so that we can remove thermal totally. Hydro we can't remove. Hydro is renewable. There are 65 hydropower plants. As it was rightly said, storage is the main thing. So pump storage power plant should be, all 65 power plants should be converted to pump storage power plant. First pump storage was at Nagarjuna Sagar. So we can have every state pump storage, compressed air storage, hydrogen. Professor Srivastava, IIT BHU, has done a lot of work in hydrogen. Fuel cell, Professor Basu of IIT Delhi has done a lot of work in fuel cell. Fuel cell, you are running cars also. All these hydrogen, etc., indirectly involves solar energy. Water को solar energy से oxygen separate, hydrogen separate. Tomorrow your beautiful cars and your bikes will carry hydrogen cylinder. Another important thing is electric vehicle. Electric vehicle also, we need a lot of solar energy. Future is electric vehicle. Already Hyundai has brought a car, 25 lakh, but it is too costly. But I think slowly we'll have it. I'm happy to inform you, Nagpur Metro is running on solar energy. Why not Lucknow Metro? Why not Jaipur Metro? Every metro should run on solar energy so that we can save electric power. Now, can you show me my slides? Slide number 1. Vinith?
Sir, he will be sharing the slide.
Sure. Then I'll
minute.
talk about it. Another thing in between is we had a UNI program, United Nations University, Tokyo. So I request the UP branch to start UNI program in Lucknow. That was very successful in IIT Delhi. Professor H.P. Garg can throw more light on it. And then all lecturers will get money, which will be tax-free. And we can involve the engineers from Bangladesh, Nepal, all SAARC countries, 8 countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives. All these people can come and learn about energy. So that please contact the Tokyo office of UNU and say that IIT Delhi was running it. Somehow it is discontinued. We want to run it in Lucknow, your branch, SESI branch, so that you can contribute to the world. And why restrict to SAARC countries? Anybody who is welcome like that, you can extend it to whole world. And that UNI program is very good. And there's anybody who gives lecture, that is a tax-free also. So that is UNI program, I want to say. Yeah, this is my phone number is given here. My cell phone is given here. Kindly write to me anytime, ring me anytime. I'll reply. And my 5 books are energy. You can have those 5 books in your library. That is given in my CV, which I sent to Vinith ji yesterday. Next slide, please. India is betting on renewable energy to boost power generation and has set a target for installing 175 gigawatt renewable energy capacity by the next year. So time is short. We have to be quick, which includes 100 gigawatt from solar. Solar and wind farm has been established in Delhi also. Teri University, they are also doing very good job in energy. Dr. Ajay Mathur is MD. Further, in September last year, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Bhai had announced increasing the renewable energy target to 450 gigawatt by 2030. As was rightly said, 2030 is a target year. So we will have to do it fast. Again, only 9 years are left. Time and tide wait for none. Accordingly, the country has made remarkable progress in this area during the last few years. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah, Honorable Prime Minister has given a clarion call for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is, along with the Swachh India and the Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat is equally important. Because if Bharat is Atmanirbhar, everything else will follow. That is aimed at making Indian economy self-reliant in the post-pandemic. I don't know whether you should call it post. It is still going on. And Maharashtra is number 1, Kerala number 2. This is a very dubious restriction. We don't want to be number 1. We want to be last in this case. However, to meet the ambitious target of solar power generation, as well as achieve self-reliance, India needs to be bolster its domestic manufacturing. It is to be noted that while India's annual demand for solar cell is around 20 gigawatt, its current average annual manufacturing capacity stands only at 3 gigawatt. There is a large gap, so we have to fill it fast. Number 4. On the renewable energy front, India needs to step up its hardware manufacturing base, particularly the solar panel, or what we call as modules. Modular are imported from China. A small percentage of modules are procured from local manufacturers, and that too at a higher cost. Our solar energy book has just come from CRC Press. You may go through that. This situation has a huge impact on the country because 60% of its project cost is consumed in importing modules from China. Now, we may blame China, but I visited China 3 times. I like 3 things there. One thing is their working hours are 12 hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. In India, at 4 p.m., most of us start seeing the watch. That is very bad. Second good thing about China is 1/3 China goes on a bicycle. They don't use any petroleum product. So why not 1/3 India goes on a bicycle? Third thing is their breakfast is working breakfast, not sleeping breakfast like India. Here we have 3-tier paratha. We have gobi, aloo, methi, lot of ghee, lot of amul butter, pachranga, achar, and curd. This is a recipe for sure sleeping in the class. or giving lecture or whatever job you do. So kindly have working breakfast, two sandwiches, one juice, one coffee or tea, so that you can work for 12 hours. In between, you can have coffee or tea. This situation, where are again? This situation has a huge impact on the country because 60%, by 2030, investment in this sector is estimated to be about 80 billion US dollar. Just the solar modules will be worth $50 billion. Next, please. Government has recently declared its intention to increase customs duty to 40% to discourage import from modules and thereby incentivizing local production in India. Well, this will give job creation also. Why there are no admissions engineering college, no jobs. So this will create jobs also. And students can start their own solar power plant and wind power plant so that they will be job givers rather than job seekers. While this is a positive step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, it will take some time for showing tangible results for the India solar developers. Looking at the current growth, looking at the current growth of the solar industry and the government support towards energy transition, it is evident that the solar sector can help India in achieving self-reliance. On the research front, we should fast to clear the research project submitted to DST, submitted to TERI, submitted to MNRE, submitted to your each capital has a science of Council of Science and Technology. उसको ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए, फटाफट कमिटी बना के रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट अप्रूव करो and then follow it up, see what has been done. So research project, that's how research will come. Plus we have the journals also, CC journal, we have India journal. So there we should give preference to renewable energy. Of course, quality you can check. I'm not saying publish everything. Whatever quality is good, publish it. Now, India is a foreign journal, Springer. So it has impact factor gone up, popularity gone up. Looking at the current growth of the solar industry and the government support towards energy transition, it is evident that solar sector can help India in achieving self-reliance. Next, please. The industry has already initiated domestic manufacturing to avoid imports from foreign players, and we are seeking employment creation in the solar power plant that can offer employment to all kinds of laborers comprising skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. There are MEDAs, GEDAs, all these development agencies are also there. They're also doing a good job. Several activities like manufacturing of solar equipment, development of solar power plant, and installation and maintenance activities. Maintenance is very important. You have to maintain this panel and everything very well so that they can work longer. Solar industry needs to be start manufacturing of solar cells equivalent to the quality of rest of the world. Majority comes from China. Focus should be on in-house only so that the dependency for raw materials will be reduced and we can become Atmanirbhar. Seventh, following steps are required to get scale and becomes a leading supplier, not just in India, but to the rest of the world. We should be exporter of solar panels, etc., etc. Investment and focus in research and development on new technology and on materials aimed at improving efficiency and reducing cost. Policy aims at giving capital support or subsidy to get investment. Tax exemption should be given. Like for electric vehicle, 1.5 lakh is the subsidy. Then they also give some more subsidy. No road tax, nothing. Kejriwal ji is giving a lot of subsidy. All states should follow that. Complete value chain to be localized. Clarity on levy of duties on components manufactured in SEZ, Special Economic Zone, and solar sold within India. Next, please. Government should support and call manufacturing lines in India in order to lead the global race for renewable energy development. Solar cells are the essential commodity, which is lagging drastically in India. If you could meet this gap, and anyhow, Atmanirbhar Bharat mission will be there on the easy walk for all of us. The government is promoting domestic purchase of solar cells and modules, which will in turn promote new businesses in India's manufacturing sector. Next, please. Perhaps the last. These are my books given there. One can read it if you want. 10th, please. Anything? Anything else? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I must thank once again the organizers of this great webinar. Organizing webinar is not a joke. It is like a daughter's marriage. A lot of work has to be done. I remember Dr. Anil Kumar rang me. So you have to contact people. You have to see that everything goes well. So I must congratulate them for such a wonderful event they organized. I don't know if the questions are permitted. Any questions?
Yeah,
Very
if the
happy
audience
to
has any
answer.
question to Professor Kothari, they can raise.
Unmute them.
सबको unmute कर दो.
They can unmute and
No, voice is not coming. Not audible, sir.
The participants can raise the question. They can unmute themselves and ask questions if they are having any to Professor Kothari.
In fact, energy should be a subject in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, right from high school. Catch them young. So to have a subject in, you have to say CBSE people, AICT people, you have to catch them, UGC people, so that energy and environment is a wonderful thing.
So thank you very much, sir. It is indeed our great pleasure.
Similarly, AMI,
Yes, sir. Yes, please continue, sir.
and I'm always there for any job. Anything you assign me, I will do it.
Thank you very much, sir. It is indeed our great pleasure, both on the part of the Solar Energy Society of India or on the part of the State Project Implementation Unit under TechUp 3, to have you on this platform and guiding us and giving a way forward what can be done to reduce the cost and what can be done to increase the efficiency. Sir, you have very correctly given example of the Aligarh Muslim University having recently installed a 5 megawatt solar power unit, and almost entire energy requirement of the campus is met by them. They can be a model for whole of Uttar Pradesh. You have also talked about emphasis on domestic manufacturing, and that alone can lead India to Atmanirbhar Bharat. And you have also indicated the deadline of 2030, a very vital deadline for the country, making a big jump not only towards renewable energy contribution in the country energy need, but becoming a global leader in the field of renewable energy. And I do believe the present leadership of the nation is very committed to achieve that. With this, I express my heartfelt thanks to you once again, sir. Over to
Thank you
Mr.
very much. My pleasure all the way.
Thank you very much, sir, for being with us this morning and enlightening all the minds present here with your thoughtful and provoking thoughts. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Now I would like to invite our next speaker, Professor D. Bhagwan Das, a professor at Dayalbagh Educational Institute, who has been working on different aspects of solar energy at his institute and beyond. Professor, in fact, a recent survey conducted by State Project Implementation Unit on Green Campus Initiatives, Dayalbagh Educational Institute stood first in the whole survey in Uttar Pradesh. So I would like to congratulate Professor D. Bhagwan Das ji, sir, as well as the whole of Dayalbagh Educational Institute for attaining the first position in Green Campus Initiative survey. Professor D. Bhagwan Das obtained his Bachelor of Science in Engineering in Electrical Engineering from Dayalbagh, Agra in 1990. He did his Master of Technology in Power Systems from IIT Delhi in 1992 and completed his PhD in Electrical Engineering from Dayalbagh Educational Institute in 1999. He is presently working as Professor of Electrical Engineering at Dayalbagh Educational Institute, Agra. His research interests include renewable energy, smart microgrids, embedded systems, and evolutionary algorithms for power system optimization. He has published over 70 papers in international as well as national journals and conference proceedings, and has filed 2 patents. He is a member of the expert committee of DST on Solar Energy Research Initiative. He is an active researcher and carried out several research and development projects funded by DST, AICT, UGC, and MHRD. He has played vital role in design and development of 1 megawatt distributed solar power voltaic power plants in Dayalbagh Educational Institute and its distance education centers. He is coordinating the indigenous development of a renewable energy smart microgrid in the institute. Now, I would like to invite Professor D. Bhagwan Das to give his expert views on research and innovation in solar energy at Dayalbagh Educational Institute. Over to Professor D. Bhagwan Das, sir.
Sir, meanwhile, before Professor D. Bhagwan Das starts his deliberations, I like to welcome a very, very important guest I could see on the website, on the screen, Engineer Sudhir Kalla ji. He is a very eminent technologist. He is from Institution of Engineers India, and continuously he is attending all the webinars. Most of the part during the Corona pandemic period, he was stuck in USA. I believe he has come from USA. I welcome you, Engineer Sudhir Kalla ji, to this webinar. So over to Bhagwan Das ji.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Ajay Prakash Srivastav ji, Honorable President SESI, Praful Pathak ji, Professor D.P. Kothari ji, Dr. S.M. Ali, Mr. P.K. Jha, Dr. Anil Kumar ji, and Vineet Surana ji. At the outset, I am thankful to Dr. Anil Kumar ji and Shri Vineet Surana ji for giving me this opportunity to present the R&D work, the humble work that we are trying to do in the Dayalbagh Educational Institute in the area of solar energy. I am especially delighted to be with Professor D.P. Kothari today. I had the good fortune of taking the first steps in power system analysis under his tutelage and hand-holding at IIT Delhi. As a student and beyond, I found him to be a teacher par excellence, an able mentor, as well as a very good friend. Let me share the slides. I hope you can see the slides.
Yes, sir, we can see.
So I would like to present in brief the solar energy initiatives in the Dayalbagh Educational Institute that we have taken over last decade. We started working on this in 2010, and the Dayalbagh Educational Institute is totally powered by solar on a clear day, and it is powered by 12 distributed rooftop solar photovoltaic power plants aggregating to almost 1 megawatt peak capacity to ensure uninterrupted supply. The basic idea of installing solar power in the campus was to remove diesel generators from the campus. At the time when we started installation in 2010, we had almost 2 to 3 hours power outage every day during the daytime, during the university hours. And we used to run our diesel generators in order to remove the diesel pollution and develop this area as an eco-city. We had taken, the administration had graciously taken this decision to install these solar power plants. And by the end of 2012, we were completely independent and Atmanirbhar as far as the energy requirement, the electrical energy requirements was concerned during the daytime for the university. On a clear day, all the electricity requirement of the institute is catered by solar power plants. Use of diesel generators has been discontinued in the campus, and Dayalbagh is one of the first 5 campuses to be awarded the status of green campus by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India. The development took place in 3 phases. Right now, the third phase is in progress. We have already installed 200 kilowatt peak in the third phase. This slide gives you the bird's eye view of the institute campus. And although I could not cover the whole campus, total 7 power plants are shown here along with their coverage. And that is how we have covered the whole institute campus with the help of distributed power plants. All the power plants come with battery storage. because the basic idea was to provide solar power during power interruptions and not to use diesel generators here. These are some glimpses of the plants. We have used transparent batteries in what we call as SAN containers. These are transparent so that you can look inside the battery and see what is happening. And more importantly, the battery life depends on the electrolyte level and the contacts and cleaning of contacts and other things. So for maintenance purpose and for keeping the electrolyte levels at the proper levels, we had invested slightly more to get these transparent containers. And except for 2 plants out of the 8 plants which were installed in by 2012, except for 2, all other battery banks are still working and going strong. And this is the 150 kVA inverter that we have. All our inverters are bidirectional inverters where we have grid import as well as grid export facility. And the first priority is given to solar photovoltaic power. The second priority is given to grid. And when both of these sources are not available, the batteries are exhausted. After installing the systems, all the plants, we realized that installation of the plants is one thing, and maintaining these plants for next 20 years is another ballgame altogether. So the challenges that we face are to come up with an efficient, reliable, and economically viable system in the presence of dynamic loads and the generation which depends on weather and an unreliable utility supply. So the problems that we encountered in making this microgrid include monitoring and fault diagnosis of inverters, monitoring of loads because of the distributed nature of power plants and the lack of coordination between various solar plants, overloading of inverters, at the same time inefficient operation of inverters during underloading conditions, lack of net metering here, low power factor during net export, heavy charging through grid after outage especially during cloudy and foggy days, because all our plants have battery backup. And of course, string monitoring, we have thousands of panels lying all over the place. So we started R&D in this and came up with our first project, which was funded by DST, Clean Energy Research Initiative, between 2014 and 18. The project proposal was need-based and originated from the problems faced in the efficient operation of distributed solar power plants. And we decided to develop a smart microgrid involving integrated monitoring, communication, control, fault diagnosis of all solar power plants through a central control station, as well as develop a decision support system to assist operator for optimal economy and reliability of the system operation. So this was a system design problem involving a variety of subsystems like electrical hardware, digital hardware, low-level software, communication links, high-level softwares to which operator can talk to. So the specific objectives of the projects were indigenous design and development of smart microgrid for optimal utilization of 518 kilowatt peak distributed PV power plants, and including remote monitoring and control of solar inverters, control of loads, automatic sun tracking, string monitoring, battery storage, smart battery storage system, and so on and so forth. So the problems, the Dalbagh Educational Institute is a very old institute, started in 1915, and the buildings that we are working on started coming up way back in 1930s, and one by one the buildings were added, and there were several cross connections between the buildings. So during 2010 and 12, when we were installing distributed power plants, one major problem was the interconnections between these buildings, especially the mixing of neutrals. So as long as the grid supply was there, all the inverters are synchronized to the grid. So there was no problem. But when the grid was not there, the inverters were not synchronized to each other. So we had to remove all the interconnections to start with. And then for remote monitoring and control of solar inverters, we created our own software, a client program in C# to collect data from all the inverters using Modbus protocol and display
मेरा
and send all
कब
this data
ना कब नहीं
to a
तो
cloud.
मैं बोलता 4 दिन नहीं आऊंगा 4 दिन नहीं आऊंगा
Another
और मेरे जो खर्चा वो दिया बोलता है 400 रुपए
that we did.
Sir, one interruption. I will request others to kindly always mute yourself, please. It creates trouble for others. Please, Bhagwan Das ji, continue.
The tracing the flow of electricity. So we found out some way of finding out how to determine how much solar power is going to load, solar power to grid, solar to battery, grid to load, grid to battery, battery to load. By monitoring these things, we could identify the malfunctions and faulty settings, the software settings in the inverters. So this is the front end of the software that we had created for real-time monitoring, and the data is also uploaded on MySQL server in the institute itself. For remote monitoring and control of switchgear and load, we have created remote controlled changeover switches through motorized changeover switches, and this is a microcontroller based system, and the connectivity is provided through LAN. It comes up with a C# based front end. And we also created a prototype for wireless string monitoring of the panels, because the string monitoring becomes very important. Another thing that we developed as part of this project was remote monitoring and control of water pumping motors. There's a problem with that because of human error. Water pumps are not started in time. There was chaos. They forgot to set them again. A lot of wastage of water. So we created an alarm kind of a system where these things are turned on and off automatically with supervision from the operator. And for remote monitoring of loads, we installed smart meters and collected all the data through Modbus protocol once again. And this is the front end that we created. And all this data also goes to the SQL server. And from SQL server, this data is available for analytics and decision support system. For that we are working on centralized data logging, which is already there, Excel-based warning and alerts and analytics, email alerts to the operators, performance indices, and of course a fuzzy expert system for detecting the health of the system. We have been working on performance indicators. There are some standard performance indicators given in IEC 61724. However, all these performance indicators are for grid connected systems and none are for battery storage systems. So we worked on these performance indicators as part of one of the PhDs here. And we came up with some new performance indices also for battery storage systems. So this is the kind of monitoring that we do for different systems. This is one sample graph which shows all the parameters like load and solar kilowatts which are generated, the amount of power which is exported back to the system, to the distribution system. We don't have net metering, but we use this export within the distribution system. Fortunately, in the Albag, we have single point supply at 33 kV, and we have our own distribution at 400 volts. So we have full control over our distribution system. So that made things a lot easier for us. So these are the various curves and analysis. We also did some work in remote metering and protection in the modern protection practices, especially for microgrids involving renewable energy. The traditional relays have additional functionalities apart from sensing, processing, and performing protective relaying functions. They also do the measurements. They do the purpose of metering also. They are synchronized with GPS clock and communication with other similar devices and data logging and local decision making in emergency conditions. And for this, we developed some relays on field programmable gate arrays, FPGA based devices, the multifunctional relays, and we have got some encouraging results as part of this PhD. We did some experiments with sun tracking also, autonomous 2-axis sun tracking, which utilize the power from SPV panels itself. We have bootstrapped it, and the tracking stops in the evening and cloudy days. It's a very simple, economic, and robust design, and we did some analysis also. However, we were not very happy with this exercise because this was again a toy problem involving only 3 panels and 5 panels. These are the different designs and the control circuit. This is a sample movement of the panel. But then in order to scale it up, we came up with a different design. And this design now we call as the concept of solar agriculture farm. This was a new concept which we came up in 2016. We started working on this. And so you can see here a pillar mounted solar structure where 50 modules have been mounted on a single pillar, and a unipolar sun axis sun tracking has also been provided here. And the land beneath is free here. We can use it for a variety of purposes. So we came up with the 2 design ideas of one is solar agriculture farm, the other one is the solar highways. And based on that, we wrote our second project in this sequence from 2018 to 2021. The project is now nearing completion. And the project is design and development of hybrid renewable energy microgrid with value chain applications for agriculture and dairy farm. Importantly, the genesis of the project lies in our wish to contribute towards the national targets by 2022. The first target is to increase the capacity of solar power plants to 100 gigawatts. And second target is to double the income of farmers. In this project, we have partner institutes of IIT Roorkee and University of Tromsø in Norway. So this is the overall scheme of the project, where we have a solar agriculture farm. I'll come to solar agriculture farm in the next slide. And the solar agriculture farm basically have solar photovoltaic modules. And we have a combination of grid connected inverters and a storage inverter. So what we call as the hybrid inverter system. And we have a AC microgrid to cater to the conventional loads of our institutional buildings, a Gaushala and the dairy processing plants and other things. And we also have a DC microgrid to cater to the loads which are inherently DC, so that we can avoid AC to DC and DC to AC conversions, multiple conversions. So along with this, we also proposed solar powered value chain for farmers, including electric threshers, self-propelled electric reaper, electric cultivator, electric boilers, and DC compressor based chillers and cold storage. We are working on all these. So main deliverable of this project is solar agriculture farm with multiple land use model. And of course, a viable and business models for solar agriculture farms to increase the net land yield for farmers and increase the income of farmers, along with the solar powered agricultural equipment or value chain equipment, and so on and so forth. Target beneficiaries are farmers, rural population, dairy farms, electric energy consumers in general, agriculture, machine industries, food processing industries. So this was the idea stage where we started, and the Albag administration graciously gave us this land of 1.5 acres of land to work on. This was the initial scene. And then we started working on this. And as is the Dialba culture, we involved our students. These are certificate course students who were involved in the process right from the beginning, and they got trained in all the aspects of fabrication as well as installation of these solar plants. So here you can see the foundations, and this is the um, ball bearing, double ball bearing that we designed and got it fabricated here. And this is the process of erection of our pillars, and of course the structures to accommodate the solar panels. And this is the present state of our plant. There are total 19 structures here. As you can see, this is how it looks in the night. It gives a beautiful view. This is another view of the solar plant. There are total 19 structures. Each structure accommodates 11 kilowatts in terms of 32 modules of 345 watt each. And the height of the structure is 18 feet. And the structure for accommodating solar panel that you can see is a squarish structure, 9 meter by 9 meter. This is to give you a perspective view. The height is 18 feet and the land beneath is free for agriculture, and we can ply our tractors and trolleys and trucks and everything. So it is a perfectly scalable design which can be scaled up for megawatt size plants involving hundreds of acres of agricultural land also. So you can see that we have created spaces between the panels so that the sunlight also comes down. Even otherwise, because the height is so much, we have plenty of diffuse light, and we have not seen any adverse effect over last 1 year. We have seen the full cycle of vegetables, crops, several vegetable crops here in the Albag under these panels, and we have not seen any adverse effect because of the shadows here. Another advantage of creating these spaces was to reduce the wind resistance, wind pressure during wind storms. We see very severe wind storms in Agra. So we have weathered all these wind storms over last, our first prototype came up in 2018 itself. So we have never had any problem. Another thing that I would like to point out with the design is the very low footprint. This footprint is only 3 feet by 3 feet here. And for 1.5 acres of land where we have installed 200 kilowatt of solar plant, the footprint is only 0.4% of the land. So all the rest of the land is available for agriculture. Now, why do we want to install panels on agriculture field? The first objective is to be able to produce electricity at the load center. As you know, in the conventional megawatt plants, the panels are installed at the ground level. And when these are installed at the ground level, the land is no longer useful. So in order to prevent our agricultural land from being wasted for this purpose, we go for barren lands, and barren lands are far away from load centers. So sometimes the grid infrastructure which is required to evacuate that power and bring it to load center, the cost of that infrastructure becomes more than the project cost itself. So this is one way we can install the panels on the agricultural field right at the load center, and we can go up to several megawatts size plants also using this. In this photograph, you can see the grid connected inverters mounted on the panels, on the pillars itself. And this is another view of our plant. Below you can see cabbage plantation. This was taken about 1 month back in the month of February. And this is the battery room. And yeah, this is a new type of battery called vanadium redox flow battery. And these batteries are going to be the next big thing in storage, especially large scale storage, as rightly pointed out by Ajay Prakash ji as well as Professor D.P. Kothari ji. that the large scale storage is going to play a major role in the coming years, even for the problem of grid stability, as mentioned by Ajay Prakashji. The stability problem, one of the main reason for stability problem from renewable energy resources, especially solar photovoltaic and wind, is the lack of inertia in these resources. In a large scale plant of megawatt size, even if a small cloud cover comes, suddenly there is a drop in the generation. There is a sudden drop in the generation, and that kind of sudden variations cause stability problems in the grid. And these can be addressed with the help of large scale storages. We can use these storages to bring in inertia. And so we are also working in this direction in a small way by installing this. And I would like to point out that this is a contribution from the institute using TechUp grants for the project. Although the project is funded by DST, this battery was provided by TechUp grant. This is the AC cable layout and the DC cable layout. We have laid our cables underground at 1 meter depth so that there is no problem with the agricultural operations. And again, this is the overall scheme of things. As far as agriculture is concerned, we have gone for pure organic agriculture involving drip irrigation and mulching sheets, as you can see on these slides. And these are some of the produces that we have had. And because of the pure organic agriculture, the quality has been very good and is in demand here. So these are some more photographs of the vegetables, and this is a list of what we have grown in last 9 months here. Almost 7,000 kgs of agriculture, and this was very useful during COVID days and during the lockdown period when the vegetables were not available. We had given all this to our local community. As far as the electric thresher that we have generated, that we have developed here, normally threshing solar plants, and here you can see an electric another initiative that we have a dairy, a gaushala just next to our plant, and we have about 1,100 cattle, a number of sheds. So every day they wash the sheds, and all the cow dung and cow urine along with water is flown down the drain. So what we have done is we have trapped it, and we are collecting that water and cow dung, and we are separating out the solid part and the liquid part. So the solid part is very easy for composting. It takes only a few weeks for composting. That is the dry cow dung part. And we can also directly use it for low duration crops. And it is the liquid part which is even more beneficial for the crops. This is a very good manure involving cow urine, cow dung. And we are using only this as fertilizer or manure or whatever you call it. We use it 2 times a week, and we are getting very good results out of it. So this machine also, we got it manufactured at a local manufacturing with our own design. This is one of the old vans which was no longer fuel efficient, and we converted this into a solar van and retrofitted it with a electric motor and batteries. We did it way back in 2009, and even till date it is being used to ferry our students and staff within the campus as well as in the Albag campus. And this is another recent retrofitting that we have done in a Maruti van, and we use this for transporting our vegetables to the local vegetable shop and so on. And this is another design on which we are working. This is what we call as portable mobile solar plant, which is multi-purpose. So the panels will be installed, and we can fold the panels when we are not using it, and take it, tow it with a tractor and trolley to wherever we want, be it for irrigation in agricultural fields or camping site, or even Bharat processions and other processions where usually they carry a diesel generator. So this is going to be fitted with battery storage, inverter, as well as variable frequency drive for operating pumps and everything. So this is nearing completion now. This is our biogas plant, where we use the cow dung which we get from our 1100 cattle Gaushala, and we have integrated this also to our microgrid. So this has resulted in human resource development. In DEI, we are running a solar technician certificate course, and we also are running a BVOC program, Bachelor of Vocation program in renewable energy. And of course, some major BTech, MTech, as well as PhD projects are being carried out. So all this developed plant is used as a living laboratory for all these activities. And we have conducted several consortia technical meetings, workshops, and conferences to spread the word, and filed 2 patents out of this work. We also have solar cooking systems in all our hostels, and during the lockdown, and because the hostels are vacated, we are in the spare time, we are using this for boiling amla and the decoction of herbs for making chawanprash in our local Ayurvedic pharmacy in Dialbag. And this is a very hygienic process. And otherwise, they were using coal for the same purpose, and 80 kgs of coal per day they were using, and the process time was 12 hours. Now it is only, the fuel is free of cost, no coal, no pollution, and the process time has reduced from 12 hours to 3 hours. We have done some experiments of secondary reflection on solar thermal also. And by that time, now we have solar photovoltaic, we have solar thermal, and we have biogas. But then we realized that all these systems are sort of isolated with each other, and we end up wasting energy, especially the thermal energy, because of lack of proper storage or conversion to electric energy. So we have written another new project we have started working. This was again mission innovation. The previous project was a mission innovation called 2017, and we have been funded through mission innovation through DST. Mission innovation involves 23 countries, and India is leading in smart grid division, and that is where our project is funded from. Now this is a device, different energy vector integration for storage of energy, and this was MI called 2019. And in this also we have been awarded another project, and the consortia consists of partners from India and Europe. From India we have IIT Roorkee, IIT Delhi, and the Dialbag Educational Institute, and the demonstration site is the Dialbag Educational Institute. And from Europe we have UIT Norway, and FBK Italy, and UMEA Sweden. And as observers from India we have the Dialbag Nagar Panchayat, and from Europe it's a commune called Narvik Commune, Norway. So the idea is to develop a hybrid storage as well as interoperability for solar thermal and solar electric and biogas. For solar thermal, we are trying to come up with portable storage in the form of thermal storage capsules, through which we can transport the heat from one place to another place. I mean, in electrical energy, it is easy, but in thermal energy, it is difficult. So for that, we are trying to find out some solutions here with the help of IIT Roorkee and IIT Delhi. And in hybrid electric storage, the Dialbag Educational Institute is leading, and we are trying to hybridize lithium-ion, LMLA, as well as redox flow batteries, vanadium redox flow batteries, and come up with a good hybrid solutions for this. So again, biogas is going to be an important component in the plan of things, And for this also, we are planning bottling of biogas in cylinders for portability. So this is the present project, which has been awarded only in December 2020, and we have just started working on this. As far as community service is concerned, the Albag has been very active in cluster of tribal villages and the remote forest area of Madhya Pradesh called Rajabarari. And we started our first project, solar project there in 2009, which was very interesting. Actually, we were setting up, we have number of schools in this tribal region, and we were setting up Wi-Fi link from a place called Timarni, which is 54 kilometers from Rajabarari to Timarni, so that we can transmit live lectures to right up to the tribal village of Rajabarari. And so for that, we needed an intermediate tower and there was no electricity. So we required solar panels and we installed it. But the next day, the solar panels were stolen. Again, we installed it. Again, they were stolen. So the project came to us, and then we designed this system where we installed the solar panels on the tower itself. And we also designed electric shock fencing for these panels, so that if somebody tries to touch these panels, he gets a shock of his life of 6 kilovolts, but of very small energy, 5 millijoules, which is not enough to kill a person. So, touch wood, since 2009, there has not been any effort of stealing the panels, and all our classes are going on uninterrupted. When we started working in Rajabarari in 2009, we wanted to come up with digital initiatives, but we didn't have power. The electricity was available only for about 2 hours, and that too of very low voltage, very poor quality of about 160 volts. So we installed number of, we designed and installed number of small capacity distributed solar plants and started a computer lab and live transmission of classes and everything there. And the system is still working very nicely, very fine. We maintain it from time to time from here. We also installed systems in our distance education center at Murar village in Bihar, and one in Roorkee in Uttarakhand, and one in Mela Thiruvengadnathpuram in Signal Valley. In fact, there we installed a integrated system of wind as well as solar, a 3 kilowatt of solar and 2 kilowatt of wind. So as I said, we treat our systems as live laboratory, and our students work on actual system, and when they participate, they get recognition at national level. They have won prizes at national level. Most recently, they won Mitsubishi Gold Cup with uh, prize of 1 lakh rupees, as well as a free trip to Mitsubishi Industries in Japan, which was sponsored by Mitsubishi for 4 students and their mentor. So as concluding remarks, I would like to humbly submit that the Dalbagh Educational Institute initiative has demonstrated that universities building intellectual resources through teaching, learning and research offer a perfect platform for establishing renewable energy microgrids. In addition to sustainable development through clean energy technologies and self-sufficiency in energy, and participating in the national missions, contributing to national missions, a university microgrid is an ideal test bed for conducting indigenous research and development through UG, PG projects and PhD thesis. This would ensure quality research with relevance, as well as development of skilled manpower and intellectual property in the area. Universities can design and implement model curriculum for vocational, diploma, and certificate courses in solar energy technologies, provide earn while you learn schemes to the students, and encourage entrepreneurial startups through incubation cells. So in the Albag Educational Institute, we are trying to do all these things. I would humbly acknowledge the gracious vision, initiative, guidance, and encouragement of revered Chairman, Advisory Committee on Education, Professor Prem Saran Satsangi Sahab, without which these projects would not have seen the light of the day. The financial support from the Albag Educational Institute, TechUp, DST Seri R&D project, DST Mission Innovation R&D project is gratefully acknowledged. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions.
We are unmuting the participants. Any question to Dr. D. Bhagwan Das ji, who have working on a systematic mechanism to convert entire campuses of the Albag Educational Institutions, all the 5, to a green campus. One campus has already been declared by MNRE. So participants or even the other experts also, Sudhir Kalaji, you can unmute and ask the question, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anil Kumar ji. I have a question with Bhagwan Das ji, and I really congratulate him that he has given a wonderful presentation and a variety of the solar things. I think he has covered up, and his Dalbag Institute is already covered up all type of variety of the solar installations which I have ever seen. Now, my question is with Bhagwan Das is that because you have got a huge installation and you have got a solar panel throughout and the campus as well as outside the campus also, how you are going to clean the solar panels in regular way? What is the process you are adopting? Because without cleaning the solar panels, the efficiency is going to be going down. So because we also, our SKIT also, we are backed up with the rooftop solar panels, and we are not using our battery system backup, and we are giving the power by after using our own institute, we are giving power to the grid and we are getting benefit out of it. So just I want to know two things. One thing that how about the battery backup is successful in their case, and secondly, how they are going to clean the panels in regular way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let me first discuss the battery backup. The basic motivation in going for battery storage systems in Dalbag was we are developing this area as a green campus, eco city, and we wanted to remove diesel generators. So in the grid connected systems, as you must be knowing, when there is a power outage, the system doesn't work, and then you have to resort to diesel generators again for uninterrupted power supply. So that's why we had gone in 2010. When we designed these systems, all the systems were with battery backup. Battery backup definitely is a weight on the system in the sense that it increases the cost, and you have to maintain the batteries. Although there is not much effort in maintenance part, you just have to keep the contacts clean and keep the electrolyte levels at the proper level. And that is one reason why we had gone for transparent batteries, and we have been able to maintain them for last 1 decade successfully. And battery backup, there is one disadvantage of having battery backups in the region of Agra. The average generation when you have battery backup with solar, average generation is about 3.5 kilowatt hour per day per kilowatt of installed capacity, whereas the same thing without battery backup is almost 4.5 kilowatt hour per day per kilowatt of installed capacity. So we use almost 1 kilowatt hour per kilowatt of installed capacity because of battery losses and other things connected with the battery storage, other inefficiencies connected with battery storage. However, the basic idea, because here we were more concerned about environment rather than the economics, so that is why we had gone for battery. Regarding the second question, that is a very pertinent question, how to clean your panels as well as how to make sure that all the panels are working. Because when you have thousands of panels, some panels, because of faults in connectors or suddenly some tree grows up somewhere and a shadow casts its shadow. And even if the shadow is there on one panel, the whole string stops working. So we have looked at automatic measures of panel cleaning. There are quite a few solutions which are in the market, but as per our evaluation, they were not really sustainable, which will last for 20 years. And the maintenance effort for that was much more than the manual cleaning that we are doing. We have employed 4 people for this purpose to maintain our batteries and clean the panels. So every day they go to a new plant, and by the time they come back to the same plant, it takes about 20 days for completing one circle. And that is a good enough time to, clean it for the second time. And of course, as far as our one decade experience is concerned, rains are the best way of cleaning the panels, and we keep praying for rains apart from manual.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And thank you very much. And one more question I have.
Yes.
Actually, I was working as CMD of Rajasthan State Generating Company, and I just want to know that because you have got such a huge installation, have you ever thought of going for the open access system, open access power to the grid?
So
Have you thought of it?
yeah, we have some problems. That is, one thing is the electricity that we are purchasing is a single point electricity at 33 kV. And when we started, the export facility at 33 kV was not available. And then there are some local issues because of which we have not yet signed any agreement with the
MOU.
MOU with the local distribution company. The capacity that we have designed is we have done that in such a way that all the surplus power is again consumed within the campus itself. So we don't have surplus to give it to the distribution company outside the campus. So using this export mechanism, we are able to transfer power from one plant to another plant also, because all 12 plants they have their own loads. They are independent in nature. But then it is again possible through this export mechanism and our local distribution at 400 volts, we are able to export power from one plant and import it simultaneously at the other plants also. So we are able to consume it within the campus, and self-consumption, we are more interested in self-consumption.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bhagwanaji.
thank you very
Nice
much, sir.
presentation. Very
Now
useful.
we need to move forward. Sir, I express my heartfelt thanks to D. Bhagwan Das ji, with whom we are working closely for last 3 years under Take Up 3 project. I feel proud to share and say once again that Dayalbagh Education Institutions is one of the pioneer institutions under Take Up 3. And yesterday itself, a telephonic call came from the World Bank asking me to ask Dayalbagh to prepare a small write-up and brief on this issue, so that Dayalbagh issue can also be presented by Indian chapter of the World Bank to their headquarters. So I will discuss this part separately with D. Bhagwan Das ji. Thank you very much, sir. We will be in close touch, and I hope that this can be replicated to other institutions. We will see and ensure that this message must go to the all institutions in Uttar Pradesh. Sir, we are waiting since since first hour of the day. A very important and key personality, Praful Pathak ji, who is the keynote speaker for today. And we had planned in such a way that he should deliberate overall and give his viewpoint only after other experts share their views. Before I will move forward to Praful Pathak ji, let me talk about him and give a brief introduction. Engineer Praful Pathak ji is an engineer by education, graduated in 1988, postgraduate diploma in computer applications in 1992, and have a vast industrial experience of more than 30 years. Professor Engineer Pathak deals with various aspects of power sector of a state utility of Maharashtra and central government. He is involved in policy, planning, development, project execution, operation and monitoring aspects, financing of the sector with various ministries of Government of India and financial institutions like World Bank, World Bank. Sri Pathak ji was previously with the Management Information System Development and its implementation for the Asia's biggest power sector utility at the state level. He was instrumental in operating implementation and its utilization for efficient performance of generation sector. He is passionate about solar energy and solar electronics in particular, and as a president of the SECI and is former secretary and director general of SECI for many years in the past, he has been instrumental in creating a ecosystem of development of solar energy in the country, and on all the three fronts: industrial front, manufacturing front, education front, skill development front. He is acting very closely with all the stakeholders. On the social side, he is associated with Rotary International, Indian Society for Technical Education, as the president of Maratha Mitra Mandal, and he is a column writer on science and digital media. So there are many other facets about Praful Pathak ji. I will take much more time if I have to elaborate on that. But our key objective is to learn and hear from him. I will request him to kindly give a viewpoint towards of the government, what they are thinking about the solar energy and what they are going to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years, and how SECI is going to become a major player in the country, both on the industrial front, academic front, and skill development front. Over to Praful Pathak ji. And I will also request all the participants that feedback has been shared in the chat box. Participants were desirous to have the participation certificate. They are necessarily required to fill up the feedback form. Otherwise, it will not be possible for us to send the e-certificate of participation. I once again request all the participants to kindly fill up the feedback form, which will be, the link will be active 10 minutes after closure of the session. So once again, I request, while session is going on, it will take not more than 1 minute. The participants can fill up the feedback form. Over to Praful Pathak, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anil Kumarji, for all the words you uttered for me. In fact, I am blessed with friends like you who are in my friends list, and I am proud of that we are connected and we are working together. To begin with, today's chief guest, and who is always been to my side whenever we talk or we think about SECI, he is Mr. Ajay Prakash Srivastav. He is a chief guest today. So, Mr. Srivastav, then the Dr. D.P. Kothari, to whom I have seen in his VNIT days, and I'm very glad that he is there on the dais. Then Mr. Dr. Bhagwan Das, and all the delegates or the people who have achieved in their life and who have given the society by virtue of their activities in their professional career. I'm really glad to be here amongst all these people. It's really a wonderful morning for me. And again, thank you, Anil Kumarji, Dr. Anil Kumarji. You have made this possible to be with such a wonderful audience. I'm also thankful to all those who have joined this webinar and who are still there because it is more than an hour and you all are there and listening to we all. That shows that how interested or how curious you all are. And yes, today's topic is really something which everyone should know, should understand. And I'm going to try to explain you or share you whatever the things that I'm witnessing being president of SECI or being in New Delhi since last decade. I'm fortunate to be here since last decade, and fortunate again to be connected with the power sector, means that is energy sector, as well as new and renewable energy sector. So I'm sure that whatever experience I have in these days, or what are the things I witness in these days, I would like to share to you that will be beneficial to you in your future. So that is what my expectations are. Now coming to Solar Energy Society of India, you all might be knowing, or if you are not knowing, it's a 1978 formed society. Really, I appreciate those people who were there. Even Dr. Kothari mentioned in his remarks those stalwarts from IIT Delhi who were working on these things. So SESI is of that time. Those people founded this society, and I'm blessed to have me in the society, and now trying to do whatever best possible for me, for the society, particularly SESI and those who are in connection with us. So it's such a old society. So all people who you can see at the helm of affairs in some institutions or policy making, they were and they are connected with Solar Energy Society of India, and every time they also suggest us, guide us, and give us the directions to in which we should go. So it's my request to everyone who are present in this webinar, please do join Solar Energy Society of India. It's very easy. You can visit our website and then you can have a membership. Then those who are in the universities or institutions, my request will be you can have a student chapter at your institution, so that more and more interactions can be possible, and you can provide the next generation the updates on whatever is happening in this field. uh, when I took over, we also started to go to the institutions. We had been to Kolkata, we had been to Mumbai, and some other places. We have our international event on of CC ICOR at those locations. The purpose of all these things is to connect with the next generation, and connecting this next generation with through the professors and faculty members who are in these institutions. So before pandemic, we used to go to the locations and interact with the faculties and students in the colleges, institutions, or universities. But because of pandemic, we were struck, and then comes to our rescue to everyone this medium webinar. So since then we started to talk or interact with the students and faculties and university representatives through webinars. Since last August, we are trying to connect with you people. The basic purpose is to make you aware that what's happening in energy sector, what's happening in solar sector. And it's my personal view that next decade will be solar sector. So whosoever listening today, it's my advice, it's my suggestion that you yourself, or you can take or suggest your students to look in towards this sector, solar sector. Because whatever we have seen in last decade, means 2010 to 2020, rather I can say, the things that have happened in 10 years, the next decade, there are many things that are in pipeline, and many wonderful things, or things which we never had seen or never had thought will be there. To give you an example, earlier we used to generate energy or power with the help of a mechanical system. The power generating units based on the thermal and the mechanical devices used to generate electricity. Now, because of the solar PV, we are in a position to generate electricity without a mechanical device, and now we are using this electricity to drive the mechanical system. The another thing which was there was, you can take a example of in Kolkata, you have the electric trains. Then we moved to automobiles, And now if you are looking, if you are aware, or if you are looking to the news coming in, the days are not far when we are charging our automobile with the help of the header lines on the roads. So this is what is happening. We are taking a full circle. The things which were there earlier, we moved to the other area, and now again we are going to the previous area. So why it happened? In recent times, solar energy could give you a better tariff, a cheap rate in available energy. Then you have a advanced storage system. Earlier there was a problem when we used to attach a storage to a solar system or solar installation, the cost would have gone up. But now solar cost has gone so down that attaching a storage can be a possibility. And if whatever the things which we are witnessing, and if technology in storage goes uh, with some advent, then definitely there will be a day when the cost of storage will also come down. And if these two costs comes down, and it becomes affordable to a common man, then definitely this will be a future for us. In addition to that, the changes that has we have seen with the introduction of LED bulbs or LED illumination, as well as electric vehicles. So these are the two things that also have made or gave advantage to solar energy. So whatever you generate with the help of solar energy, that you can store in the battery, and that can be used for illumination by LED. So total consumption of all these things, or the total cost for this system, which was earlier might be a higher in 2 digits, now it is in a single digit, and that to be at a very low level. So when the things becomes affordable, the use of those things is a natural thing, and that is what is happening in our sector. Now we are finding the crude prices are going high, so naturally we will move to electric vehicles, and these electric vehicles needs charging. That can be with the help of, directly with the help of solar energy, or with the storage system available with that. So, and if you are in a position to get a charging at a lower cost, definitely the affordability makes it at a high scale use. And if this scaling goes, then we all are aware that whenever there is a scaling in any sector, the cost comes down. So, and when cost comes down, again affordability comes into picture, and general public or the society prefers to use that. So looking at all this situation, I believe that next decade, with storage and with electric vehicles introduction, it is a decade of solar energy. We need to rely on that. And because more and more people are getting attracted towards these facts, the more research is going on. The young generation is trying to come up with some new solutions, some new innovative idea. uh, so many startups are coming up. They are coming with every day some new idea coming in. And if these type of situations are there, I'm sure that in near future or for this coming decade, solar energy can be a stabilized energy source. It can be taken as a something which on which you can rely on. And if such things are going to happen, so the academia, the researchers, they must look into these things. And not only that, we are aware at SESI that uh, it's our duty to connect academia with the industry, because we have a representation from academia and industry. So if academia and industry comes together, then definitely the that is what is needed, and that will prove advantageous to us. So that is also one part we are looking at. If you are aware, on every first of a month since January 2021, we are showcasing young talent, what they are thinking, what they are using for solar, and we are broadcasting their interview, their interaction, so that the younger generation can see this, and then they can come up. And I'm very glad we had 3 programs, and now I'm getting emails and communication from all over India that we are doing this, sir. We can showcase what we did. We want to showcase through SESI the innovation we did in the field of solar sector. So that momentum we want to develop. That was our aim, and the initial steps taken by us are now giving us the fruits. So this is what we were intended, and I'm very happy to share you that whether it is the industry or whether it is the academia, both are looking at Solar Energy Society of India. They have expectations. Then we have a team of experienced people in Solar Energy Society of India who had almost 30 to 35 years plus experience. Every member of SESI has an experience of about 30 plus years. We have a lot of members who have this much experience, and they are ready to share their experience to the next generation. And we are trying to collaborate the two sides, the experience side and the enthusiastic young people. So I believe that if we could do, or if we can bring them together, definitely something can happen. Even today's activity is an example of what we are trying to, or what I'm trying to explain you. Another thing which I want to share with you, you all are aware of International Solar Alliance. It is a solar body same as UN and working for the solar sector. We have a headquarter of ISA at Gurgaon, and uh, the mandate to this International Solar Alliance is to develop solar energy in the world. So India and France had taken lead. I'm proud. Earlier in India, we used to take from the countries other than India, but now we are in a position that we can give, or we can deliver to the other countries about the technology, about the manpower, even financing in the solar sector. And as whole world is getting open now, so you can very well judge that if you take interest in the field of solar energy, if you if you follow the government schemes, and if you develop your own ecosystem, your own startups, then definitely the future is for you. So it is my humble request to everyone that let's come together, let's interact, let's discuss with each other, and whatever the experience you have, and wherever possible you feel that solar applications will be beneficial, please work on it. Please develop some model. Then please connect with the institutions that could finance you, and come up with something, a new thing which will be beneficial to the society. Here I would like to give one simple example. We were in Kolkata somewhere in February 2020 last year for our event. uh, that event, there was, naturally we have a lamp lighting, traditionally we do that. So the students who were organizing that event for SESI in that institution, they come up with a lighting the lamp ceremony with the help of solar powered LEDs. They said that because of this they can eliminate the use of oil. So look at this. It's a very simple thing that way, that you are using a solar powered illumination or lamp lighting, and because of that you are avoiding the oil. So, and so many functions are going on all over country. So if everywhere we are trying to avoid the use of oil, definitely how much oil we can save, that is a one thing. And another thing is solar can give you this advent. So this is a very simple example, but there we can share similar examples wherein you can put your uh, power supply or your energy with the help of solar. So I appeal to everyone who is present in this gathering that please look around you, think about it. What is the application where you can put in solar, where you can have a battery storage, where you can use the LED or the electric vehicles like systems, so that all the activities around us can be powered by solar energy, because we are a country where we have enough of solar energy. We can say that it's a otherwise going waste energy. Solar energy is that if we are not using it to such applications, then it can go waste. It's a clean energy. So when we have all these things with us, even the government schemes and government is pro for development of solar energy applications, solar energy activities, the storage, the electric vehicles. So we can be part of all these things. And in this development, if you need the help of Solar Energy Society of India, you can channelize to Solar Energy Society of India through SPIU or Tech Equip or um, other systems which are available with the government. And by taking this advantage, you can come to us that this is something new we have developed, and let's take this to the society so that society can have a benefit that. So we have to work on these lines, we have to think on these lines. And Sesi and you all people, we need to work together. That is what I would like to appeal you. And I'm sure that many of you will start connecting with us and take your students, other faculty members, and we can develop the and we can prove that the coming decade is of solar energy. So on this note, thank you all again for being with us. Thank you the seniors who are here, who have huge experience in this field. I'm really blessed to come to know about you and to interact with you. Please feel free to communicate with us the ideas, thoughts, concepts you have, either to me or to Solar Energy Society of India. And definitely we can come together, we can walk together, and we can achieve something wherein we can feel that yes, we did this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Pathak sir. You are indeed in a very clear, candid manner has elaborated about the need of institutional strengthening. When we talk about institutional strengthening, we talk about institutional strengthening at all the levels, and SECI is playing a big role, not only helping the government in policy formulation, as well as they are helping the industry and academia also to work in that regard. That is why you have talked about collaboration both at the institute level and industry level as well. We are also looking forward for more and closer cooperation and coordination so that many more activities can be done. An Indian target of this leadership by 2030 of achieving 57% of the renewable energy can be achieved. That will be a big date, because I will deviate few seconds little. When you see in every policy document, this government talk about 2030. Solar energy, they are talking about 2030. Sustainable development goal, they are talking about 2030. National education policy, they are talking 2030. And meaning thereby, this government is working in a very, very candid manner that 2030 can become a day by which India can become a global leader in all the area, be the field of energy, education, skill. So all those three fronts. Yesterday we were having a detailed deliberation on future skill in the country by 2030. So with these few words, I express my heartfelt thanks to Pathak sir and his entire team, the SECI team, as well as the past president Ajay Prakash Srivastava ji. Initially as a chief guest, he has set the tone of the webinar, and those technical discussion we have completed by the keynote address and presidential address by Praful Pathak ji. But to relax our mind, we are with us an eminent engineer, Mr. P.K. Jha, Prabhat Kumar Jha. He has been a former general manager from Maruti Udyog Limited, but today he is a life skill expert. And I know him since last 30-40 years. He has been closely working since the college days till date on developing life skills to increase the efficiency of individuals. So we are blessed that Mr. P.K. Jha is available with us. I will ask Mr. Benish Surana to introduce him. Before he will introduce him, I will once again request all the participants to kindly fill up the feedback form which is available in the chat box. And if you miss to fill up the feedback, I will have to say sorry that you may not get the e-certificate. So for those who are desirous to have the e-certificate, they are necessarily required to fill out the feedback form. The feedback form will be active only 10 minutes after the session is closed. Over to Benish Surana ji.
Thank you very much, sir. It is indeed my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Prabhat Kumar Jha, who has been associated with SPIU UP since last 3 years and have ignited many minds throughout Uttar Pradesh and also outside Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Prabhat Kumar Jha runs a training program called Antar Yatra, a journey within self. Through his workshops and lectures, he aims to motivate individuals to achieve higher levels of satisfaction, mental peace, and happiness, which he believes in turn increases one's overall efficiency and quality of life. His sessions cover a myriad of topics such as mental peace, mindfulness, as well as spiritual and meditation techniques for increasing self-motivation, relating to improving one's relationship with self, family, and society, for creating higher performing teams and at home and at work. The formal training and decades of work experience allowed him to start an official training program in 2012 at his then employer Maruti Suzuki India Limited, through which he trained more than 7,000 early career professionals within the firm. Retiring from Maruti after 33 years of service in 2017, he has been working as a freelance trainer, coach, and motivator. In the past 2 years, Mr. Jha has covered engineering colleges of the repute of National Institute of Technologies, public sector operations such as Delhi Police, CRPF, NHPC, Power Grid Corporations, and whatnot, and one overseas engagement in New Jersey, USA, to the group of doctors based there. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Prabhat Kumar Jha so that he can enlighten us and take the journey within ourselves. Over to Mr. P.K. Jha.
अनम्यूट कर लीजिए झा साहब. पीके झा जी अनम्यूट कर लीजिए अपने को. Yes. Can you hear me, Prabhat Jha ji?
Yes, yes, I am hearing you, sir.
Yeah. Welcome you, sir. Please.
So, sir, before starting the session, I want all of us should pray a line to the Lord, and then we will start the session. Please start telling Bhadrang no api bhataya manaha. Bhadrang no api bhataya manaha. Rigved, Yajurved, all the Vedas is telling this line. Prabhu, mere man ko bhali baaton ki or prerit kare. And second thing, now aroh tamso jyoti. Let us move together. हम सारे लोग आइए अविद्या से निकलकर ज्ञान की तरफ चलने का प्रयास करें. Thank you. Now I am starting my session. अनिल जी आपका फोटो आ रहा है. मेरा
हम लोग आपको देख रहे हैं, आप मेरे को देख रहे होंगे, हम लोग आपको देख रहे हैं.
ठीक है, एवरीबडी मतलब सब लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं.
यस.
तो ठीक है, अब ये मेरा स्लाइड भी दिख रहा है.
हाँ जी.
ओके, अभी I am going to talk about life skill for stress management. हम जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं सब अर्जुन हैं. अर्जुन, पाणिनि व्याकरण कहती है अर्जनात् अर्जुनः. जो भी अर्जन करता है, धनार्जन करता है, ज्ञानार्जन करता है, अन्नार्जन करता है, ए पर्सन जो अर्न करने की सामर्थ्य रखता है और अर्न करने की व्यवसाय में लगा है, वो जैसे प्रफुल्ल पाठक हैं और लोग हैं, जितने भगवान दास हैं, सभी अर्जुन हैं, बिकॉज सभी लोग एक मिशन में, एक काम में लगे हैं। तो अर्जुन अर्जनात अर्जुनः। स्ट्रेस की बात करते हैं हम लोग। शादी नहीं हुई तो स्ट्रेस, शादी हो गई तो स्ट्रेस, बच्चा नहीं हो रहा तो स्ट्रेस, बच्चा हो गया तो स्ट्रेस, नौकरी नहीं है तो स्ट्रेस, नौकरी हो गई तो स्ट्रेस, बच्चे का एडमिशन स्कूल में नहीं हुआ तो भी स्ट्रेस, और स्कूल में एडमिशन हो गया तो स्ट्रेस। ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट यू क्रिएट ए पॉइंट ऑफ स्ट्रेस। यही हाल अर्जुन के साथ होता है। इसीलिए महापुरुषों ने इसे अर्जुन रोग कहा है। यह अर्जुन रोग का ब्रह्मोपचार है, कृष्णोपचार है। और मैं तो यह कहता हूं कि हमारे देश में, इस महान भारत देश में, जिस देश में आपके पास गीता है, आपके पास कृष्ण जैसा मोटिवेटर है, अगर आपको स्ट्रेस फील होता है तो आप भारतीय नहीं हैं। भारतीय को स्ट्रेस फील नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं आगे आपको बताऊंगा कि हमारी पद्धति में स्ट्रेस को कोप अप करने की कितनी पद्धतियां हैं, कितने सिस्टम्स हैं। अर्जुन पहले अध्याय के 30वें श्लोक को आप देखें। अर्जुन जब दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में उसको रथ को भगवान लेकर पहुंचते हैं, और भगवान लेकर पहुंचते हैं और उसे दिखाते हैं कि ये तुम्हारे संबंधी हैं, ये तुम्हारी ओर से हैं, और ये तुम्हारी विपरीत शत्रु की पक्ष से हैं, इनसे तुम्हें युद्ध करना है। तो अर्जुन कहता है, गांडीवं त्रसस्ते हस्तात त्वक्च एव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम भ्रमतीव च मे मनः। मेरे हाथ से गांडीव सरक रहा है, मेरे त्वचा का टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया है, और न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम, मैं खड़ा नहीं रह सकता। अवस्था तुम हमारे गांव में कहते थे कि इनकी अवस्था हो गई है। अवस्था मीन्स वन हु कैन स्टैंड ऑन हिज ओन फीट, उसको अवस्था कहते हैं। न तो शक्नोमि अवस्था तुम, मैं अपने पांव पर खड़ा नहीं हो सकता। भ्रमतीव च मे मनः, मेरा मन भ्रम में पड़ गया है। और भगवान को जब आदमी भ्रम में पड़ता है, जब आदमी स्ट्रेस में होता है, तो नेक्स्ट लाइन बोलता है, निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशवः। मैं देखता हूं कि लक्षण अच्छे नहीं है, भविष्य अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा। क्योंकि जब वो खुद को खुद सामर्थ्यवान महसूस नहीं कर रहा है तो वो उसको लगेगा। इसका उपचार ब्रह्मोपचार है। साहस राम का आधार हो, साहस अपार हो। राम का आधार हो, एक ही उपाय है इसका, राम का आधार हो, साहस अपार हो। ये अगर आपके पास साहस है और ईश्वर का आधार है तो आप सब चीजों से लड़ सकते हैं। भगवान को अर्जुन कहता है, कार्पण्य दोषो अप्रत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म समूढ़ चेता यच्छ्वयं निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मयि शिष्यस्तेहं साधिमां त्वं प्रपन्नम्। भगवान हैमरिंग करते हैं। भगवान उसे पहले लाइन में कहते हैं, कैवल्यमास्मगमापार्थ नहीं तत्त्वयुपपद्यते, तुम कायरता को मत प्राप्त हो। कैवल्यमास्मगमापार्थ नहीं तत्त्वयुपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यम त्यक्तो उत्तिष्ठ परं तपः। अपने हृदय की दुर्बलता को छोड़ो। क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यम त्यक्तो उत्तिष्ठ परं तपः, उठो। और उठने दूसरी चीज कहते हैं, असोच्यानन्व सोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भातसे। आप जो सोचने वाली बात है उसी को सोचो। दूसरे अध्याय के 11वें श्लोक में भगवान कहते हैं कि जो सोचने वाली बात है सिर्फ उसको सोचो, डोंट डेविएट योरसेल्फ। दूसरी चीज को सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है। मैं एक कथा कहना चाहूंगा। एक व्यक्ति बड़ा परेशान था जिंदगी से, उसे लगा कि अब मैं जीकर क्या करूं, तो मरने चला। वो नदी के किनारे पहुंचा कि अब मैं डूब मरूंगा। वहां पर एक महात्मा तपस्या कर रहे थे। महात्मा ने उसे देखा और जाकर वो तैर कर बचाया, उसको बाहर निकाला। बाहर निकालने के बाद कहा, तुम क्यों मर रहे थे? बोला, सब कुछ मेरा लूट गया, मुझे बहुत मानसिक तनाव है, मैं जिंदा रहकर क्या करूंगा, मैं जीना नहीं चाहता। मैं आप सबसे भी कहता हूं, दोस्तों, ये जिंदगी नहीं, ये दरियाए मझधार है, औरों का बेड़ा पार कर तेरा भी बेड़ा पार है। महात्मा ने उसे बाहर निकाला। महात्मा ने बोला कोई बात नहीं, तुम एक दिन के लिए अपने मृत्यु को सस्पेंड कर दो। उसे लेकर हॉस्पिटल पहुंचे। बोले मेरा एक चैरिटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, इसकी आंख का कितना कीमत होगा, इसकी आंख निकाल लीजिए, इसकी लीवर निकाल लीजिए, इसके जितने पार्ट्स हैं बॉडी के सारे निकाल लीजिए। वो आदमी बोला तो आप मुझे बेच रहे हैं क्या? बोला तुम मर रहे हो। वो बहुत फिर महात्मा के चरणों में गिर गया। उसने कहा कि महाराज तो मैं क्या करूं? बोला कि भगवान ने जो वस्तु तुम्हें दिया है तुम उसे रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते। तुम्हारे पास आंखें हैं, उसका कोई रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है। तुम्हारे पास जो वस्तु भगवान ने दिया है उसका रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है। इसीलिए जो दिया है उसकी रक्षा करो और कर्म करते रहो, क्योंकि कर्म करने से तुम्हारा तनाव भी कम होगा। ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट वस्तु है। हमें तनाव क्यों होता? तनाव होने का एक ही कारण है। एक दो शिष्य थे गुरु के, दोनों शिष्य गुरु के साथ शिक्षा प्राप्त किया। एक बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो गया और एक सन्यासी हो गया। तो सन्यासी पहुंचा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट के पास कि मुझे कुछ चंदा चाहिए लोगों के कल्याण के लिए। तो बोला तुम तो बहुत ब्रिलियंट थे, तुम कहां फंस गए इस काम में? उसने कहा कोई बात नहीं, तो मेरी एक समस्या है, पहले हमको खाना खिलाओ। दोनों ने खाना खाया और उसको ले गए खिड़की के पास। उन्होंने खिड़की खोली। बोला तुम्हें कौन दिख रहा है? बोला यहाँ पेड़ पौधे, लोग, समाज, संसार दिख रहा। फिर वो मिरर के पास गए और मिरर के पास लाकर कहा तुम्हें यहाँ कौन दिख रहा है? तो उसने कहा मैं हूं। बोला तुम में और मुझ में यही अंतर है कि तुम जिंदगी भर मिरर के सामने में खड़े हो, तुम्हें अपने सिवा किसी की तस्वीर दिखाई नहीं देती। मैं आपसे कहता हूं, आपको स्ट्रेंथ तभी होगा जब सिर्फ आप अपने बारे में सोचोगे। मुझे याद है मेरे दादाजी कहते थे, मैं उनको बोलता था कि हमारे यहाँ हमेशा हम 500, 400, 500 फैमिली के यहाँ पूजा कराते थे। एक ब्राह्मण परिवार में जन्म हुआ तो दादाजी कहते थे कि हमने कहा कि आप दादाजी ये काम थोड़ा कठिन लगता है। माँ बोलती थी तुम पढ़ाई करो, तुम कहाँ इसमें उलझ रहे हो? दादाजी बोलते थे बेटा मनुष्य के जीवन में प्रसन्नता का एक दिन होता है साल में, लेकिन तुम 500 लोगों से जुड़े हो, तुम्हें 500 डेज हैप्पीनेस का मिलता है, क्योंकि तुम सबके हैप्पीनेस को शेयर करते हो। जब तक आप दूसरे के हैप्पीनेस को शेयर नहीं करोगे, आपका स्ट्रेस कभी मैनेज नहीं होगा। इसीलिए अपने से बाहर निकलकर आप इस बात को निश्चित रूप से समझ दो कि आप सिर्फ आप नहीं हो। पास बद्धो स्मृतो जीवा, पास मुक्तो सदा शिवा। आपकी यात्रा जीव से शिव होने की यात्रा है। आप जीव हैं और आप शिव होने की प्रक्रिया में हैं जब आप पास से बधे हैं, और पास अष्टपास है। घृणा, शंका, भय, क्रोध, ये सारी चीजें एक पास है। जब तक आप इस पास से बधे रहोगे, स्ट्रेस से बधे रहोगे, पास से मुक्त होगे, स्ट्रेस से मुक्त होगे। मैं इसमें अब ये कॉज ऑफ स्ट्रेस क्या है? कॉज ऑफ स्ट्रेस 4 ये पुस्तकों में नहीं है, ये मेरे जीवन का अनुभव है। मनोनुकूल वेदनीयम सुखम, प्रतिकूल वेदनीयम दुखम। जो काम आपके मन के अनुकूल है वो आपको सुख देता है। आप देखेंगे जिंदगी में हम करते क्या हैं, हम जिंदगी में भार लेकर चल रहे हैं। एक संस्कृत में लाइन है, अस्कंधात अस्कंध नयन भारम विश्रामं मन्यते यथा दुखात दुखतरं तदवत सुखं मत्वा अनुभूयते। आपके एक कंधे पर बोझ होता है, जब उससे कंधा दुखता है तो आप उसको उठाकर दूसरे कंधे पर डालते हो, आपको रिलीफ महसूस होता है। वो रिलीफ नहीं, कंधा बदलना है। अस्कंधात अस्कंध नयन भारम विश्रामं मन्यते यथा दुखात दुखतरं तदवत सुखं मत्वा अनुभूयते। तो आप इस बात को याद रखें कि जो चीज आपके मन के अनुकूल नहीं है वो आपको स्ट्रेस देगी, और जो आपके मन के अनुकूल है वो आपको आनंद देगा। मैं एग्जाम्पल हमेशा मैं लोगों को कहता हूं कि आपको 11 बजे रात में स्टेशन लखनऊ स्टेशन से किसी को पिकअप करना है, वो ऑफिशियल है, वो आपके लिए स्ट्रेन है। लेकिन आपका कोई प्रिय संबंधी, आपकी साली आ रही है और आप उसको जब लाने जाते हो तो वो वेदना नहीं है, वो आपके लिए सुख है, क्योंकि आप उसको मन के अनुकूल मानते हो। आप रात में 1 बजे भी जाते हो तो आपको वेदना नहीं होती। तो वेदना इसलिए है कि वो मन के प्रतिकूल है, स्ट्रेस इसीलिए है कि वो मन के प्रतिकूल है। जो चीज आपके मन के अनुकूल होगा वो आपको स्ट्रेस नहीं देगा। दूसरी चीज है कि स्ट्रेस का कोरिलेशन है ऑब्जेक्टिव कंडीशन एंड सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपेक्टेशन में। आप जो सोच रहे हैं आइडियल, मुझे ये मिलना चाहिए, वो जब आपके पैरामीटर पर नहीं आता तो आपको स्ट्रेस होता है। तीसरी चीज है क्रोनोलॉजिकल एंड साइकोलॉजिकल समय को। क्रोनोलॉजिकल आज 13 मार्च है, लेकिन इस 13 मार्च में आप भूत के एंगर को जीते हो कि आपको किसी ने क्या कहा था, और आप भविष्य की चिंता को जीते हो। भविष्य की चिंता को भी आज खींच ले आते हो, भूत के परेशानी को आज खींच ले आते हो। तो आपने क्या किया, साइकोलॉजिकल टाइम में आपने क्रोनोलॉजिकल टाइम को मिक्स कर दिया। आज आप तीनों समय को जी रहे हो, भूत को जीते हो, वर्तमान को जीते हो और भविष्य को जीते हो। प्रभु ने आपको प्रेजेंट के लिए पैदा किया, वर्तमान के कर्म के लिए पैदा किया। अगर आप तीनों चीज को एक साथ मिक्स करोगे तो स्ट्रेस होगा। दूसरी बात है ड्रेजरी वर्क है आपका, आपके पास काम है, लेकिन आप सोचते हो कि ये नेसेसरी है, मुझे जीने के लिए काम करना है, बट ये बोरिंग वर्क है। एवरीवन वांट्स टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम ड्रेजरी ऑफ देयर एवरीडे लाइफ। सब लोग उसको बाहर निकलना चाहते हैं उनसे, क्योंकि वो बोरिंग है, क्योंकि मन के अनुकूल नहीं है, मन के प्रतिकूल है। अगर आपके पास स्ट्रेन आता है, आपके शरीर में बेचैनी होती है, आप एक बात याद रखना, ये फिजिकल बॉडी में मेटाफिजिकल ब्रेन है। ये बॉडी आपका फिजिकल है, ये ब्रेन मेटाफिजिकल है। बॉडी अर्जुन है, ब्रेन कृष्ण है। जब इन दोनों में तारतम्य होगा, जब मस्तिष्क और शरीर का तारतम्य होगा, अलाइनमेंट होगा, अर्जुन और कृष्ण एक प्लेन पर रहेंगे, तो स्ट्रेन नहीं होगा। आपका ब्रेन आपके बॉडी के प्लेन पर नहीं होगा, तभी आपको टेंशन होगा। बॉडी ब्रेन के प्लेन पर हो, ब्रेन बॉडी के प्लेन पर हो, नो स्ट्रेस एट ऑल। अब मान लो हमारे पास एक्सपेक्टेशन है, लेकिन एक्सपेक्टेशन का संस्कृत में एक लाइन है, आशा बधिंग को गतः, देयर इज नो लिमिट टू एस्पिरेशंस। हमारे एक्सपेक्टेशन का है नहीं। हमको स्कूल में इतने नंबर चाहिए, हो गया। देन 12th में चाहिए, हो गया। हमारे बच्चे को ये चाहिए, हो गया। हमें नौकरी में चाहिए, हो गया। जो कुछ मिल जाता है उसको हम 0 मान लेते हैं। लेकिन याद रखिएगा, राम नाम को अंक है, सब साधन है सून। अंक गए कछु हाथ नहीं, अंक रहे 10 गुण। जितनी उपलब्धि आपके जिंदगी की है, जब तक नहीं मिलती है तब तक दुर्लभ लगती है, जब मिल जाती है तो शून्य के बराबर हो जाती है, क्योंकि आप उसके पीछे में परम ब्रह्म का वन नहीं डालते। राम नाम को अंक है, सब साधन है सून, और अंक गए कछु हाथ नहीं, अंक रहे 10 गुण। यत भावो तत भवति। प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, यत भावो तत भवति। आप अगर भावना करते हैं वैसे ही आपका परिवेश बनता है। हमारे यहां कहा जाता है, चिंता चिता समायुक्ता बिंदु मात्रं विशेषता। चिंता और चिता एक ही जैसा है, उसमें बिंदु का अंतर है। चिंता चिता समायुक्ता बिंदु मात्रं विशेषता, सजीवं दहति चिंता निर्जीवं दहते चिता। जो जिंदा मनुष्य है उसको चिंता जलाती है, मुर्दे को चिता जलाती है। तो चिंता चिता समायुक्ता बिंदु मात्रं विशेषता, सजीवं दहते चिंता निर्जीवं दहते चिता। इसीलिए चिंता को, द मोमेंट चिंता कम्स, उसके पीछे एक लगाइए, ब्रह्म लगाइए। और एक बात जरूर रखिए, मुझे याद है एक धीरेन्द्र ब्रह्मचारी पहले हुआ करते थे, सन्यासी थे। उनको जेल हो गई इंदिरा गांधी के एसेसिनेशन के बाद। तो उनको जब उनका लोग पत्रकार पूछ रहे थे कि आपको कैसा लग रहा है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि जब वो दिन गुजर गए तो ये भी गुजर जाएंगे, जब वो नहीं रहे तो ये क्यों रहेंगे। एतदपि गमिष्यति एतदपि परिवर्तिष्यते, दिस टू शैल पास, यह भी चला जाएगा। कुछ शाश्वत नहीं है तो टेंशन शाश्वत कैसे होगा। लेकिन आप कैसे फिर खड़े होंगे। मनुष्य के साहस से कोई बड़ा नहीं, और हारा वही जो लड़ा नहीं। अगर आप लड़ते नहीं तो हारते हैं। मनुष्य के साहस से कोई बड़ा नहीं, और हारा वही जो लड़ा नहीं। यह भी चला जाएगा। आप इस बात को निश्चित याद रखिएगा कि स्वात्मनि स्नेहात आदौ, सबसे पहले अपने को प्रेम करिए। आप एक बात मैं कहता हूं, ये काम कठिन है पर फिर भी किया कर, दुनिया से मिले वक्त तो खुद से भी मिला कर। लोग सारे काम करते हैं, मैं ये पैनल बना रहा हूं, दुनिया का ये काम कर रहा हूं, ये ऐसे होगा, ये वर्ल्ड बैंक है, ये दुनिया है। टेक केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ, द मोमेंट आई विदिन विल रिएक्ट, all the things will be useless. So swatmani snehat adau, सबसे पहले love yourself first. Love yourself first. That is the most important thing that you have to do. काम कठिन है पर फिर भी किया कर, दुनिया से मिले वक्त तो खुद से भी मिला कर, खुद से भी मिला कर। एंड स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट स्किल में मैं दो चीजें बड़े ब्रीफली मुझे बताना है, तो मैं आपको डॉक्टर साहब अभी 5-7 मिनट और है ना?
हाँ जी, 5-7 मिनट है।
ओके, तो स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स में मैं एक बात कहूंगा कि स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के लिए आपको कुछ मैं सेलेक्टिव प्रोसेस बता रहा हूं। एक तो डीप ब्रीदिंग का प्रोसेस है। जितने लोग हैं जहां हैं, व्हेन यू आर अंडर स्ट्रेस, मसल टेंस, ब्रीदिंग बिकम्स शैलो एंड रैपिड। सिट इन कंफर्टेबल पोजीशन, एकदम सुखमय अवस्था में बैठिए जहां आपको कंफर्टेबल लगे। टेक डीप मेजर ब्रेथ, काउंट 1 to 4 while inhaling and again 1 to 4 while exhaling. प्लीज डू इट, आप इसे करें। सांस गहरी लें, 1 2 3 4। सांस छोड़ें, 1 2 3 4 एज एक्सहेलिंग। इसको 20 से 30 बार जैसे आप करना चाहें करें। डीप ब्रीथिंग इंक्रीजेस द अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन अवेलेबल टू योर बॉडी एंड प्रोड्यूसेस ए रिलैक्सिंग इफेक्ट। शायद मैं ट्रेनिंग में हूं, मैं बात करता हूं आपसे। प्रोग्रेसिव रिलैक्सेशन, जब स्ट्रेन होता है तो बॉडी अकड़ता है, तो आप खुद ऐसा करो कि आप बॉडी को अकड़ाओ, ऐसे जैसे हाथ को ऐसे किया, धीरे धीरे रिलीज करो। और जानते हो आप, जितनी मसल्स आपकी है, सारी मसल गर्दन के थ्रू जाती है, सारी इंपॉर्टेंट मसल्स। अगर आप गर्दन की मसाज करते हो गर्दन का, तो रिमेंबर आपके स्ट्रेन बहुत कम होंगे। तो मैं कुछ पॉइंट्स आगे डिस्कस करूंगा। गर्दन का मसाज बहुत जरूरी है। आप सवेरे उठें, जो भी तेल आपके पास हो उसको लें, सर का और इसका खुद मसाज करें। नीड नॉट टू गो टू एनीबॉडी, दिस इज वेरी। और इसको ऐसे देखें, लुक एट मी, ये दोनों उंगली ले, ये दोनों उंगली है, ये ऐसे, ये ऐसे, ये ऐसे। रिलैक्सेशन, ये प्रोग्रेसिव रिलैक्सेशन का बॉडी के सारे पार्ट्स पर आप प्रोग्रेसिव रिलैक्सेशन इंपैक्ट दें। हार्ट रिलीज, पेट को अकड़ाएं, छोड़े, टो से लेके टिप तक। एंड सेलेक्टिव अवेयरनेस, पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ स्ट्रेस, इफ यू आर नर्वस टू मेक प्रेजेंटेशन और समथिंग, आपको लग रहा है सेमिनार में, तो इसको अपॉर्चुनिटी समझकर इसको इंप्रूव करें। कैसे? दिस इज डिफरेंट थिंग बट यू कैन डू इट, यू नो मोर देन दिस। एंड व्हाट यू कैन डू, आपको मैं बताऊं, शंख बजाते हैं हम। साउंड एनहेंसेस द पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजिकल वाइब्रेशंस, करेज, होप, ऑप्टिज्म एंड विल पावर। आपको जब भी स्ट्रेन हो, आप शंख फूको या शंख की आवाज सुनो। लिसन बेल साउंड, आप जाओ, आप चले जाओ यूट्यूब में, कहीं भी बेल के साउंड आपको मिले, मंदिर के बेल का साउंड, तो आप उसको सुनो। यू विल फील बेटर, यू विल फील वंडरफुल। दूसरी चीज, आपके बगल में कोई मंदिर है, साउथ, नॉर्थ, ईस्ट, वेस्ट, आप मंदिर के गर्भगृह में जाकर थोड़ी देर बैठ जाओ। एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू, ओनली फॉर 40 सेकेंड्स, वो जो गुंबद है उसके जस्ट सामने में, बेल को हम कहते हैं कि हम जब घंटी बजाते हैं तो भगवान को इंडिकेट करते हैं कि वी आर एंटरिंग इन योर जोन, हम आ रहे हैं। और जब बेल के साउंड को आप सुनोगे तो बेल का साउंड बढ़ के कम होता है। ओ, एंड देन मड बाथ, आपको अगर कुछ न मिले, थोड़ा सा और लगे कि कुछ और अवेलेबल नहीं है, आप मिट्टी लो और मिट्टी को पूरा बॉडी पर लपेट लो। टेक ए मड बाथ। स्टीम बाथ तो बड़े लोग लेते हैं, जरूरत नहीं, आप मड बाथ लो। आप पेंट ए पिक्चर, आप अल्फाबेट रिसाइट करो, उसको विजुअलाइज करो। आप सवेरे उठते हो, जितने लोग अपने बेड को ठीक करते हो, जब आप सवेरे उठते हो, गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग, आप अपना दोनों हाथ, आपको मैं बताऊं, भगवान ने अपने रूप को 8 भागों में विभक्त किया है, 8 पार्ट्स। 8 जगह भगवान ने अपने को बांटा है। क्या है 8 जगह? क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा, ये 5 चीजें हैं, स्काई, वाटर, एयर, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, 5 थिंग्स। सन, मून एंड जीवा, मीन्स यू एंड मी आर गॉड, यू एंड मी आर अव्यक्ताद व्यक्त प्रभवः, हम अव्यक्त के व्यक्त रूप हैं। भगवान अव्यक्त हैं, 8 रूपों में व्यक्त हैं। वो अपनी ऊर्जा उन्होंने 8 वस्तुओं में डाली है, पंचभूत, सूर्य, चंद्रमा और जीव। तो आप, बट इंसान की बदबख्ती अंदाज से बाहर है, कमबख्त खुदा होकर भी बंदा ही नजर आता है। ये भगवान है ट्रिबल, बट ये अपने को बंदा ही समझता है। डॉक्टर साहब 5 मिनट्स मोर? नो।
हेलो,
हाँ, इज सम टाइम?
या 3-4 मिनट्स सर।
ओके ओके ओके, थैंक यू थैंक यू। तो आई एम टेलिंग यू, एंड गेट अप फ्रॉम द बेड्स। आप जब बेड से उठते हैं तो आप 5 भूत से संपर्क करिए, मीन्स टच अर्थ एंड प्रे अर्थ, कि मैं आप पर आज से, अभी सुबह से पांव डालूंगा। टच अर्थ, यू विल हैव रिलैक्सेशन। अर्थ को छूइए। वाटर, जल से अपने पांव मुंह को धोइए, जल। एंड देन यू गेट हॉट वाटर, ये अग्नि स्पर्श है आपका। एंड आप आकाश की तरफ देखें। भगवान बुद्ध अपने भक्त को कहते थे, उन्होंने कहा कि प्रभु जब आप चले जाएंगे और हमको जब स्ट्रेन होगा, स्ट्रेस होगा, तो हम क्या करेंगे? तो भगवान ने कहा कि जब भी सीमित व्यक्ति को स्ट्रेन होता है, वो असीम की तरफ देखकर ऊर्जा लेता है। तो जब तुमको स्ट्रेस लगे तो चुपचाप चले जाओ कहीं खुली जगह पर और आसमान की तरफ देखो। आपको मैं दावे के साथ कहता हूं, आसमान को आप 30 सेकेंड्स ओपन आईज से आसमान को देखो, यू विल फील द डिफरेंस दैट यू हैव। आसमान को देखो, खुली हवा में सांस लो, क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा, बी इन टच विथ ऑल दीज थिंग्स एंड रेस्ट इज प्रलापम किंग करिष्यति। प्रलाप है बट चूंकि लिखा है तो मैं बोल रहा हूं। पंच पिलो, पिलो को पंच करें। टॉक टू योर वाइफ। अरे जिंदगी में भगवान ने, स्त्रियां लोगों को मिलती नहीं है। प्रथम सुख निरोगी काया, द्वितीय सुख पास में हो जरूरत की माया, तृतीय सुख पुत्र पुत्री आज्ञाकारी, और अंतिम सुख सुलक्षणा नारी। अगर नारी ठीक नहीं तो पुत्र ठीक नहीं, धन नहीं बचेगा, स्वास्थ्य ठीक नहीं होगा। तो टॉक टू योर वाइफ Love your wife, no tension. Happy wife, happy life. So talk to your wife, play with the children, start cooking food. Do a piece.
हमारा सारा शिकायत हमसे करती है हर हफ्ता, इनको समझाइए, समझ ही नहीं देते हैं, हम बोले कब बुरा.
Look at the sky in the night. Do some gardening. Put your leg in hot and cold water. Get out in open air. Give yourself a neck massage. Sit in the sun. Apply oil in the direction of your hair. अपने को खुद रोज मसाज करिए कोई तेल रखकर. आप देखेंगे कितना बॉडी में, अरे बुढ़ापा कम आएगा, तेल लगाओ बॉडी में, मजा आ जाएगा जीवन जीने का. 55 में 25 लगोगे. करो देखो. Take lukewarm water in the morning. पानी पियो. फास्टिंग इन द नाइट ऑफ अमावस्या और पूर्णिमा को रात में फास्ट करने वाले लोगों का स्वास्थ्य 80% टेकन केयर होता है. सनसेट से लेकर सनराइज तक, डोंट टेक एनीथिंग on in the night of Amavasya and Purnima and see the result of my statement. I am not telling it, it is the fact. लिखा है. Stop using electronic gadgets before 1 hour of sleep. 1 घंटा पहले ही गैजेट्स को बंद कर दें. आप अपने को अशांत मत होने दें. Take social media breaks. 8-10 glass of water in a day. Stop skipping meals. खाना कभी मत छोड़ो. जिंदगी जीने के लिए है और जिंदगी से बड़ा कोई चीज नहीं है. इसलिए कितने भी बड़े आदमी बन जाओगे, bullshit. Take your food on time. Stop skipping meals and avoid overeating. Breathe, laugh, do brisk walking and do pranayam. Spend time with your mother. Go to your mother. Talk to your mother, your father. And I am telling you, pray, share with God and cry. पूजा में बैठो, भगवान से बात करो और दिल से दिल मिलाकर रो. सारी समस्या का समाधान है. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. ईश्वर की शरण में गया व्यक्ति कभी भी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं होता. मैं लिख कर देता हूं. भगवान कहते हैं न मद्भक्तः प्रणश्यन्ति मद्भक्त भीत कलमखात् आदावेत प्रतिज्ञातम न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति. मेरी प्रतिज्ञा है, मेरे भक्त को कोई कष्ट नहीं होगा. अनिल जी, 1 more slides, then I am closing the thing. Some points are in the body. I have collected 4 points. Point between your eyebrows, shoulder wall, back में, union valley point and head center point. उसके लिए हमारे पास कुछ टूल है जो मैंने दिखाया था. जैसे सेंटर पॉइंट के लिए ये टूल है, ये देखिए आप इसको. ये you will feel wonderful. आप करके देखना इसको कभी मॉर्निंग में. देन इसको पांव में और हाथ में, ये do it. This will help you a lot. And then this is, किसी को बोलिए पीठ के नीचे, पीछे यहां. You will feel wonderful, relaxed, muscles open होगा. And this ये these things will empower you. and मैं आपको बता, ये सब चीजें आपके लिए है, आप इनके लिए नहीं हो. जो अचीवमेंट है, जो सक्सेस है, जो सारी जिंदगी की जितनी आत्मनः प्रिय आत्मनो, आपके प्रिय के लिए, आपकी पत्नी, आपका बच्चा, आपका समाज, आपका अचीवमेंट. सेव योर सेल्फ. अपने को बचाओ और ब्रह्म के पास जाना है. जैसा शरीर दिया है उसी तरह का पवित्र लेकर जाना. यही, इसी के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ. थैंक यू फॉर लिसनिंग. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Bharat Kumar Jhaji. You have given a very enlightening and motivating talk to us. I believe even 5% of this we can inculcate in our life. It will be definitely helpful and beneficial to us. Over to Vinesh Rana.
Thank you very much, sir. This has been a very wonderful session. First of all, I'd like to ask all the participants to please fill the feedback form. Since after this, it will be open only for 10 minutes. After that, we'll close the feedback form. Therefore, I request to please fill up the feedback form from each and every participant so that we can improve further. on behalf of State Project Implementation Unit, Uttar Pradesh, Solar Energy Society of India, and on my own behalf, I'd like to propose a hearty vote of thanks to our mentor and chief guest, Mr. Ajay Prakash Srivastav, past President, SECI, for gracing this national webinar on research and innovation in solar energy towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much, sir. Your address was very meaningful and interesting. I am sure that all the participants has taken note of your guidance and will be implementing in their organizations and suggestive action to be initiated at their level. I would like to convey my sincere regards to the session chairman, Mr. Praful Kumar Pathak ji, President, Solar Energy Society of India, for delivering his, for chairing the session and giving very informative speech, as well as guiding all the institutions to open students chapters to and appreciating the efforts of academia as well as industries. I'd like to thank Professor D.P. Kothari ji and Professor Bhagwan Das sir for being with us and enlightening all the minds present here with their very beautiful presentations on the topic of solar energy. And I would like to thank Professor S.M. Ali Saab, Vice President SECI, who has been with us since morning and has given the welcome address for today. I would like to thank my sincere regards to Mr. Prabhat Kumar Jha sir, the life positive expert for today, who your presence indeed has made this event meaningful. And I'll not forget the mantra that you gave today, that happy wife is happy life. Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to thank Dr. Anil Kumar, State Project Administrator, SPIU UP, who has been the main driving force behind this success of SPIU Uttar Pradesh and this webinar, and for his guidance and support. I appreciate the support of SPIU officials, Mr. V.K. Singh and Dr. Mahavir Singh Naruka, and others who are involved directly or indirectly in this event and have made this a success. I would like to convey my thanks to the Ministry of Education, the World Bank, the NPIU officials for their contribution toward the success of this webinar. At last, but the most important, I would like to thank all the participants who have been attending this webinar since morning, who have given their feedback, and from various corners of the country, without whose support the success of this webinar would not have been possible. Once again, thanks to all the participants for joining us. Jai Hind.
I like to thank on my own behalf a very heartful thanks to the entire SECI team, most particularly Praful Pathak ji, who was the keynote speaker and chairman of the session, as well as Sri Ajay Prakash Srivastav ji, who has been a guiding spirit as the chief guest. And last but not the least, I express my personal thanks to Dr. S.M. Ali, who has been my close friend, my colleague at the earlier organizations. And we are happy that closely we are thinking and implementing the issues. So looking forward for future collaborations and coordination on the issue. And a special thanks to my friend, Mr. P.K. Jhaji, who has always say yes whenever ask him, even a day before, that please spare few minutes for us. So thanks again to one and all, and a special thanks to all the participants. Over to Praful Pathak ji. Sir, कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप? Few lines.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार जी। बहुत बहुत खुशी हो रही है आज ये सब आपका जो आपने एफर्ट्स लिए, सबको इकट्ठा बुलाया, क्योंकि इसी तरह के एफर्ट्स अगर हम लोग लेते गए या शुरुआत करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली हम सब को अपने लाइफ में भी और अपने आसपास जो लोग हैं उनके लिए हम कुछ कर सकते हैं। और अभी तो ऐसा हुआ है कि अगर हम कुछ करते हैं तो वो हमारे लिए, हमारे आसपास के लिए नहीं, हम पूरी दुनिया के लिए कर सकते हैं। तो मेरी आज मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि आपने हम सबको जो जोड़ा है एक दूसरे से, SECI, SPIU एंड अदर आपकी SPIU से साथ जो लोग, जो इंस्टीट्यूशन जुड़ी है। और मुझे लगता है कि ये शुरुआत है, अभी हम लोग इकट्ठा आते रहेंगे या आते जाएंगे और सोलर सेक्टर में कुछ तो ऐसा करेंगे जिससे कि हम बता सके कि अगर हम एक साथ चलते हैं तो क्या कुछ कर सकते हैं। सो इसी आशाओं के साथ आप सबको फिर से एक बार बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और बधाई।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। सर हमारे बीच इंजीनियर सुधीर कल्ला जी हैं। ही हैज बीन द फॉर्मर चीफ जनरल मैनेजर फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट पीएससी इन राजस्थान, and he has been the council member of the Institute of Engineers also. So if he is still available, I will request Engineer Kalla as a participant, though you are very elderly, but still you are a participant, and in all our webinars you are a participant. So he has left. No issue. I will request Dr. S.M. Ali if you like to share few lines. Dr. S.M. Ali जी, अगर आप एक दो लाइन को शेयर करना चाहें।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार जी। सर ये प्रोग्राम जो है हम किस तरह से बढ़ाई दिए इंटायर एसपीआई के टीम को, जिसने काफी नई दिशा में इसको ले गए। व्हाट आई मीन टू से ये न्यू डायरेक्शन, because we conducted number of program webinar in the solar energy society with the industry expert and other professional body. Well, this is the first time the academic involvement is there, where you are thinking in the right direction, research and innovation, which leads to the future energy scenario to resolve. Rightly, we have targeted 2030 is the all this thing. Energy target is there, educational, new educational policy, other thing, so that our country will be one of the more vibrant and independent country and powerful country in the world, where we need education and we need energy independent, education independent, and many other administrative things also. सर इस टाइप का सेमिनार जो एसपीआई से हो रहा है काफी हम बधाई दे रहे हैं, और ये लीडरशिप और ये जो आइडिया है ये ओनली लीडरशिप ऑफ डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार जी का है। ये बहुत ही हम सराहना करते हुए जो इस तरीके के प्रोग्राम आगे भी होना चाहिए। सोलर एनर्जी से सहयोग से काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव है। अजय प्रकाश जी जो खुद इंडस्ट्री से भी रह चुके हैं, एकेडमिक से भी रह चुके हैं, हमारी आग्रह है कि सोलर एनर्जी सोसाइटी एक एनर्जी कोर्स जो स्पेशलाइजेशन एनर्जी कोर्स, आज डॉक्टर डीपी कोठारी हमारे टीचर भी रह चुके हैं जो सराहना के स्कूल लेवल एजुकेशन से, ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी सीबीएसई बोर्ड में भी आना चाहिए। अगर एसपीआई की तरफ से कुछ ड्राफ्टिंग एमएचआरडी में भी जाना चाहिए। एक बीटेक एनर्जी कोर्स should be implemented in all engineering colleges and the university, so that all भी awareness इसमें create हो जाएगा। ये हमारी दो इच्छुक थी और ये इम्प्लीमेंट भी हो सकता है एसपीआई के थ्रू से, जो टीक्यूब से टीक्यूब 3 प्रोजेक्ट्स के बाद टीक्यूब 4 भी आएगा। टीक्यूब 4 में भी अगर स्पेशल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रहा तो एनर्जी और एजुकेशन ये और भी अच्छी होगी, और एनर्जी एक्सपर्ट्स भी हैं ऑल ओवर इंडिया में, they can be utilized for their knowledge sharing. Thank you very much.
Sir, I will take privilege to request all the participants that if participants want to have their special view on the solar energy and its future, on its research, on its innovation, and a new ecosystem, what they feel and they foresee to be created, they can share. They are having our email ID. We'll collate and we'll share with the SESI also. So even we are making it open to the participants also. In next 5-6 days time, you can share with us also. I will request Mr. P.K. Jhaji, Prabhat Kumar Jhaji, few lines if you can share. It appears he has already left. Anybody from participants, 1 or 2, if they want to share their viewpoint and their feedback, how they feel and how they feel like leaving this webinar and what they can think to do in the future. Any participant. आप लोगों में से भी, पार्टिसिपेंट से भी अगर कोई अपना व्यू पॉइंट शेयर करना चाहे 1 मिनट में, 1.5 मिनट में, तो कहीं से आग्रह नहीं आ रहा है विद दिस।
हेलो,
यस प्लीज।
हेलो,
आप अपना परिचय दें और बताएं।
This is Dr. Sudhanshu Singh, Associate Professor, Department of Business Administration, LDC Institute of Technical Studies, Prayagraj. So it was a nice experience. Am I audible?
Yes, please continue.
So it was a wonderful experience joining your webinar. And since this morning, we all of us here at LDC Institute of Technical Studies, Prayagraj, especially the faculty members, are attending this session. And this was very beneficial for all of us, that all of us got motivated for the usage and coming forward on our own for the development and increased usage of solar energy, solar power, as this is the renewable energy for us. And especially the representative Dr. Bhagwan Das from the Dayal Bagh institution, what a wonderful presentation he made this morning. We are highly delighted by the influential presence and the address of Shri Jha Sahab about the stress management. So thank you, SPIU, and the this Solar Energy Society and TQIP program and the UP Technical University AKTU. Thank you very much, all of us here at LDC Institute of Technical Studies, Prayagraj, and especially myself, Dr. Sudhanshu Singh. Extend heartiest thanks to all of you for organizing such a wonderful program and such a beneficial program. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir. One thing I'd like to share with you, for seeking any direction, any guidance on the issue of solar energy, feel free to contact SECI. I will be sharing the SECI President personal email ID to everybody and his contact details. Feel free to contact him directly. He is such a nice person, dedicated person. He's a big social cause for it. They are fighting and they are working. Feel free to contact to all the institutions.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you.
साहब से आदेश लेते हुए अगर आदेश दे तो हम लोग क्लोज करें सर.
हाँ जी.
So once again, heartfelt thanks to Pathak sir, Ajay Prakash ji, Ali Sahab, and all the participants, and my core team, particularly Mr. Vineet Surana and my other colleagues. Thank you very much, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.